Hi guys, it's Cap. I want to assure you that everything you're about to hear is completely real. All these events were recorded live, and they certainly didn't go any way that we anticipated. I encourage you to listen to this episode with an open mind.
Hey, Dean, you there?
Yeah, it's Dean.
Hey, Dean, how you doing? It's X.
Hey, Sean, how you doing, man?
How was your weekend? I heard you went hunting.
The reason I hunt ducks and the reason I hunt other animals is that we are at the top of the food chain. We are the primary superior race on this planet. That gives us the right to hunt things that are lower than us. I met a duck that equaled or greater my intelligence than I would let that duck go, and I'd say, go in peace, duck brother.
What would happen when the hunter became the hunted?
Well, man, you ever seen that movie First Blood?
Yeah.
Alright, man, basically that. I got this dog, right? It's like a hound dog. He's like a 937 mixed breed. I don't know what he is. When I shoot the duck, no problem, man. He goes out and gets that duck, brings it back real obedient. If I miss the duck, I swear that dog laughs at me. And I swear one of these days I'm going to shoot that dog. Look, man, I do not want to talk about aliens. I've had some bad experience with aliens.
Okay.
Now, I've never told no one this. My buddy Guy and I are out in the woods, and we're out there, and then all of a sudden I see this real bright light, like nothing I'd ever seen before. Like I thought it was a police copter. I said, oh my God, Guy, it is a police copter. You better get down because you got a bus from the past, and I'll be coming for you this time. He said, it ain't a police copter. That's one of them alien craft. Look right there. And I looked in the center of the light, and the next thing I remember is about an hour later, I don't remember nothing. That's the weird thing, right? An hour of my time is missing, and I don't know what happened to that hour, man. And I got these really weird headaches.
This guy, he's been in this werewolf game a long time, around 70 years. His name is Lunario von Darkwolf the Third. Are you there, Lunar? Oh, Jesus. Are you a wolf dad or maybe a wolf granddad at this point?
More through a traditional sense. I bit the fuck out of my children's mother.
Would you have any experience with werewolf hunters? We were reading a lot on the internet about werewolf hunters.
Yes.
How much of a threat
Yes,
are they?
It depends on how good a shot. There's this one that's been tracking me for decades. I still have the arrow in my ass from where he shot. It's silver. I can't touch it.
We're going to bring another guest real quick, and then we're going to introduce you two guys. Now we're going to dial up our old friend Dean Wallace. We're going to see if he's had any experience hunting otherworldly beasties.
You know, I hunt all kinds of different things. What exactly you want to talk about? What kind of animals?
I was wondering if you'd ever encountered a werewolf.
Werewolf. Well, man, it's hard to say, man. It's hard to say what makes a man, what makes a wolf, what makes a werewolf, man. The thing you have to say is, you know, it's dark out in the woods, and sometimes men think they see things they don't see, you know, Bigfoot. Sure, I had a run-in a few years ago with a type creature that may have been a man werewolf, but I'm just not really sure if it was. I saw this dude with red eyes coming at me from the woods, and I thought it was like some kind of enraged buck or some kind of a big wild animal. But I raised my sights and I went to shoot at him. I stopped because I saw a man's figure, and, you know, I don't want to kill a man out in the woods. I loaded my rifle, and he ran away. But it was a big, furry kind of man with a wolf head. He looked evil, you know?
Dean, we've got another guy on the line. He says he's been a werewolf for 70 years.
Yeah? Put him on.
We have a friend with us. His name's Dean Wallace.
Wait. What did you say his name was?
Dean Wallace. He's a professional...
You son of a bitch!
Listen, man, you want to have a real fight? Why don't you come down here to Men's Florida, and I'll show you what it's like down south. Oh, if you ever show your face in front of me, I'll kill you.
I did show my face in front of you. You shot me, you asshole!
Yeah, we'll be thankful I missed. Hello? This is Gary Wallace.
Gary Wallace?
Guys, stop calling my dad and getting him to tell you ridiculous stories. It's embarrassing to our entire family.
I mean, no disrespect. Dean is a good friend of ours. What's your beef exactly, Mr. Wallace? I mean, Dean's a grown man.
First of all, let me you know who I am. I'm Gary, his oldest son. I currently live in New York. I'm an investment banker. And I came across your ridiculous, idiotic radio program. It's disgusting what you've gotten out of my father. He's never killed a werewolf. And it's becoming a real embarrassment to me and my younger brother, Steven. You guys aren't his friends. You're poison. You're toxic. When I was a younger man, my father and I were hunting in the woods, and he went back to the truck for just a few moments and left me in the woods. And I was approached by what seemed like a large dog, and came and it spoke to me, and it bit me. I blacked out enough when I don't remember much beyond that. But sometimes on the right evenings, I go through a certain kind of change. I don't really know what it is. I have a very outer body experience. I almost feel like I'm an animal. I'm a man animal. Do you understand?
I think we're getting another call.
Hello?
Hello?
Lunario von Darkwolf.
The third, the very same.
I know that voice. Who is that?
My name is Lunario von Darkwolf, young sir. Wait a minute, I recognize that panicked breathing. How's the werewolf?
What do you want, man?
I'd just like to know how your werewolf thing is going for you. I it's your favorite.
It's you! You're the one who changed me.
Yes, that's what happens when I bite people.
Gary, this is the first time you've heard this man's voice since you were left alone in the woods all those years ago?
Oh my god.
That's how it works with the siring. I become your lord and master.
You're not my dad.
I'll tell you what, Gary, you got a very protective father, and clearly he's on the ball about some things. You're going to need to try to scratch this itch before it bites you in the ass, because your father will kill you.
Yeah, and you already have been bitten in the ass by a werewolf, and now you have to scratch that itch behind your ear with your hind leg.
That's all fake. My father's not real about that stuff. And I haven't talked to him in a few years.
You should reconnect with your father. Get him to trust you, and then kill his ass.
Maybe you're right. Maybe I should kill my dad.
Wait, what?
I don't know about that, Gary. I think you need to choose an alternate route. I mean, I'm not one to argue with the werewolf or anything, but I'm also not one to argue with Dean Wallace, and I know where that man's coming from.
Sorry, will you be my dad? Will you be my wolf dad?
Absolutely. There's plenty of room in my pack.
Okay, I'm more than a little concerned for Dean at this moment.
We couldn't get hold of Dean. I just got his voicemail. I left him a message, though, told him to call us back. But I think he's going to be okay for now. We'll get a hold of him. I mean, if I have to, I'll drive out to his damn house in Mims. I mean, his son lives in New York, so if he's fucking turned to the werewolves, well, I mean, Dean's a survivalist. He's got another thing coming. I think this guy really underestimates his father.
Hi, guys. Welcome to Nerdy Show. I'm Cap.
Triforce Mike.
Brian.
And Hex actually...
He was here.
He was here.
And he got a phone call from his lady that he often talks about, and I don't know. She said...
the one named after that dead princess.
Yeah, she said...
I don't think she's real, guys. I've never seen her.
Me neither.
She said there was something wrong with the animals in the apartment, and that they were, like, taking shits everywhere, but then the shits were frogs, and I don't know. She's probably high. She also sounded like she was throwing up and saying that...
Oh, maybe he knocked her up.
Yeah, maybe he knocked her up, and because she was...
Fictionally.
Yeah, she was definitely...
Oh, you're right. That's right, she doesn't exist.
She was thrown up, and she was saying that his mom sucks cocks in hell, and...
She does.
Well, we are exaggerating, but the animals were going crazy. So he ran out on us, and he's over there taking care of her.
Very professional.
Very professional.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it is a nerdy show fact. He left us to go take care of cats.
And possibly shit.
The track you heard was Flesh on Fire by James House. That's from the Teen Wolf soundtrack. As songs about werewolves go, that's pretty top-notch. Mm-hmm. The one we played in our previous episode, Where the Wild Things Are, was kind of lighthearted. But this is serious. Yeah. His flesh is on fire because there's hair coming out of it. And
it's like super puberty. Like in 3 minutes, you have all puberty happen.
Well, isn't that what werewolfism is all about?
Well, at least in Teen Wolf, that's the allegory there.
There's other versions?
No, you're right. Anyway, it's actually, despite jokes and everything, this is actually a really somber reason that we're talking about all this werewolf stuff again. And as you might have heard from the sound collage we played, that was just sort of a previously a Nerdy Show bit. Our friend Dean Wallace, he's been with us on the show for a long time, first in our Duck Hunt episode, then again in Where the Wild Things Are, where we spoke to both him and an actual werewolf, supposedly a man named Lunario von Darkwolf III.
It's a very werewolfy name.
He certainly got the shtick down, that's for sure. And then in our call-in episode, we didn't speak to Dean, we spoke to Dean's son, called into the show. And
I never liked that kid.
He seems like he's, I don't know, really, really confused, really twisted.
The way he just, changed sides like that, he probably went out and bought the stupid contact lenses and painted all his fingernails black.
I believe it the way he was talking. It was like 0 to 80. I mean, did you hear the way he said, maybe I should just kill my dad? What the fuck?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I love and respect Dean Wallace, but here's the thing, guys. This is why we're here today talking to you about this. Dean's been missing for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, Hex and I were going over to his house. I have a kind of bi-weekly tradition of going over to Dean's to get barbecue, because there's some really good barbecue restaurants out in Mims. And Dean had actually just found some stylophone records, because Dean collects kind of obscure electronics, particularly musical instruments, and he found these cool records for this little instrument called a stylophone. We're going to talk about it later, and Hex was with me, and we were going to go over to Dean's, listen to these stylophone records, eat some barbecue. And when we got there, Well, it was when we got there. It was a crime scene, basically. Actually, ever since I started doing this journalism thing, I've been pretty much recording everything I do because I don't really have time to stop. So I just keep all my ideas. So I generally have a recorder running at all times. And
it's weird.
It is weird, and I am.
It makes me feel uncomfortable. I admit it.
I mean, I just think that you liked Twin Peaks so much.
I mean, that was actually why. I mean, I can't deny that I do feel a little bit like Dale Cooper running around with a recorder. I mean, that's the truth. End result is I never played one of these little clips on the show with the mini recorder unless it's an interview or something. But what I have for you is I actually recorded the entire sequence of events where Hex
Shouldn't
and I.
Cops have this or something?
Well, I mean, it's a digital recorder. It's not actually a tape, so
okay.
They do actually have it.
Do you record yourself masturbating?
Well, Mike does.
Because
both himself and Cap.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that audio is very valuable to anyone.
I use your digital recorder.
It is to Mike.
Yeah, just that kind of like that sound.
My Mike, you could be a Foley artist.
I was just masturbating. What do you mean? I just held my dick out to the microphone, and it's not really anything special.
Well, you know how
it's funny that I didn't notice that.
It's very small.
You know how Frank Welker's like the go-to guy for animal noises? Mm-hmm. Anytime you need masturbating, they call up Mike.
Yeah, it's
well, and you're a Foley artist too.
Yeah, it sounds like you've got a gremlin.
Oh, that would be Charlie.
Well, let's cut to this audio. This is actually an edited version, just to shorten it for time. I've actually sent a copy of the tape, hoping to maybe get some more information, but also as a special treat to everybody who's donated to Nerdy Show. And if you donate to Nerdy Show, you too can get the full recording of this. But let's play the recording right now.
It's a good thing like, I gotta tell you, man, I've seen the dark side of the red.
Of the what?
Red.
Red?
You know, like redneck, red state.
Oh.
Red.
Yeah, but he's not like that. Well, I mean...
Is he?
He's got, like...
Is he?
The South will rise again.
Yeah, no, like... That anyone that sports any rebel flag tattoo that doesn't that should wave some flags. Nor the really bad pun.
Dean? Hey, it's Captain Hex. Help him up, buddy. Dean!
Is he even here?
I mean, the light's on.
Is he even here?
Doorbell doesn't work. We'll go around the side of the house. He usually has the sliding glass door unlocked.
Man, this is really overgrown. Is he...
It's Mims. It's Mims and he's a redneck. What do you want?
Yeah.
I mean, I appreciate that. I like doing this because it's different. Yeah. Oh, fuck.
Dude, whoa.
What does that smell?
Oh my gosh. Oh. Oh, dude, really? Like it doesn't smell like something's alive in here.
This place is a wreck. What the hell? What the hell? Oh. Are these scratch marks in the wood?
Okay, yeah, that is.
Oh, god damn it, god damn it, god damn it.
Dude, there's some...
Those are buckshot holes, right?
Yeah, those aren't claw marks over there. Those are definitely buckshot holes.
Oh, shit, it's all over the ceiling.
And over here, too. Dude, this is starting to get pretty serious.
If I find a dead body in here, I'm gonna be so angry and sad and all that.
This is Bret Hart's statue in half. Bret the Hitman Hart in half. That doesn't happen.
Let's go upstairs. Dean?
Dean. Come on, buddy.
Cheryl?
Cheryl.
Steven?
Gary?
Don't say that. Don't say that. Man, every single room. There's like stuff on the walls. It doesn't look like blood.
I think that is blood, man.
Dean? Dean? Cheryl, anybody?
I don't think anyone's here.
Thank God for that, unless that is blood. But what if Gary's still here? Shit. Where's his guns? Where the fuck is he?
Are they?
He's got it. I know he has something under his bed. Dude, it's not here.
I think we should go.
I mean, he's got more than one gun, but I don't know where he keeps them all.
I like Dean and all, but
well, I mean, we gotta call the cops, obviously.
yeah, no, I think this is beyond the jurisdiction of our friendship, dude.
Well, maybe for you, fucking.
Well, no, dude, I want to call the cops. I just don't want to, get eaten by a werewolf. I mean, that might. I'd probably get eaten by a werewolf for you, man. But probably not for me.
Me and Dean, we've had a lot of good times. I'm not. Fuck, God damn it.
Dude, I love Dean and all.
How many trucks does he have? I mean, there were already 2 here, but he's got a lot. He's got like.
Yeah, he's got like 5, but like, how many are functional?
I have no idea how many are functional. He uses them all for different things. Some's for mudding, some's for hunting, some's for driving around town. I don't know what they're for.
Dude, I got.
Which ones are here?
Let's go in the back again.
Oh, hold on a sec.
Whoa, what?
Look, the answering machine is like beeping like crazy.
Whoa, yeah.
Hey, Dean. It's your son, Gary, again. I'm starting to think you may be ignoring my calls, so please answer. Give me a call back. I'll talk to you soon.
Next message.
Okay, Dean, it's been about a week. Why aren't you answering my calls? I know you are not on vacation. I just talked to Steve yesterday. I know you're home. I need to come see you because there's something we need to discuss. So please give me a call. Thanks.
Next message.
Hey, Dean, it's Gary again. Just thought I'd hear back from you. Want to come visit? So give me a call back when you get a chance.
Next message.
Hey, Dad, it's been a month, September. Haven't heard from you. Give me a call back.
Next message.
You let this happen to me. You took me out to those woods and you abandoned me. You left me out there. Why'd you leave me and go back to your truck to get that big goal? That wasn't right to do to a small kid. Now look what happened to me. All those years you were going on and on about how much you hated werewolves. You never had any idea your son was one. But you never stopped to find out, did you? Well, you know what? I am one. I'm a werewolf. And every time it was a full moon, I change. In the morning, I wake up, scared and alone, and I crawl myself back to my apartment and try to gather the pieces of my life back together. You want to know why I'm not married yet? You and Steve always give me a hard time about that. It's not what you think it is. It's a little bit hard to have a personal relationship and a private relationship with someone when I don't know if in the middle of the night I'm going to turn over and scratch their face right off. You have any idea what that's like? No, you wouldn't. Because you and Cheryl have a perfect little life, don't you? You, Cheryl, and Steve, going to your mud races and all that stuff. Well, you know what? I had to make the best I could of my life, and I moved on. I went to New York, and I got an education. All that time, still transforming. You have any idea how hard it is to be a college-age wolf? Or a teen wolf? Yeah, that movie's very funny to everyone, but I have actually lived that.
Oh, God.
No thanks.
This is bad, man.
Whoa.
All right, let's get out of here. Let's not like muddle the crime scene anymore. We gotta get out of here. I'm gonna see if like I have Cheryl's number.
Those are totally our footprints all over
Next
the place.
message.
Dean,
The bloody footprints.
I'm coming for you now. Doesn't matter where you go or where you run, because eventually I will turn to the wolf.
What are you gonna do?
And I will be able to hunt you down.
No, the cops will believe us. Cops will believe
might
it's.
as well just
It's.
prepare
I mean,
now.
like it could be Guy.
So, I hope
So
you
if
bring
it's
everything you've got,
if it's Guy, then
ready to face the ultimate enemy.
let's get out of here. It smells awful in here.
So what we found out was, I mean, we called the cops. The cops came, and we found
That was
out,
some heavy shit, by the way.
Yeah, that's creepy, dude.
It was really creepy. I mean, it
And,
was.
you know, I haven't really been going to those things with you
Well,
since things got weird with Dean and me.
They've always been weird with Dean and you.
Yeah, so it's just, I feel like maybe I should have been there, or maybe I could have, I don't know what I would have done.
I mean, we still don't know what happened at all. It's been 2 weeks. The police haven't found fuck all anything. Cheryl and Steven, we really fortunate they were actually at her sister's house in Ocala that night. They don't seem to know anything. They just knew that we were going to have like a guy's night with the barbecue and the records. That was it. They're both really shaken up. They're in Ocala now. They went back. And, you know, at this point we're just kind of saying, hey, if you have any information, let us know, because we're kind of at our wits' end. But it's clear that this werewolf thing that we were making, I mean, we always make a lot of jokes about it. How can we not? But this thing that we were, you know, making so much fun of before has one way or another come back and bit us in the ass. Lol pun.
Yeah. Well, if you rub garlic in the wound where you've been bitten, that purges the lycanthropy virus out, right?
I mean, that's maybe a cure for vampirism. I mean, you know what the deal is, Barky. Yeah, I know. You want to forget about that period of your life.
Oh man, not proud of that.
Yeah, you shouldn't be. I just, you know, like to rebroadcast that if you are afflicted with lycanthropy, that the one legitimate cure that we know of is locking yourself in a room and listening to The Cure.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if this works for vampires or not. Vampirism is, I mean, you die. So that's way more fucked up. I honestly don't know how to come back from that. I have no idea. The thing is with all this, like, are these people pretending to be werewolves? Are these people actually werewolves? I have no idea. I mean, none of this has come into our house directly. It's affected us with this Dean situation. At this point, I'm like, you know, Lunario came to us as a werewolf, but we never saw him. Well, I've never actually met him, so.
Yeah, I don't think he can shift or whatever. I mean, I've met werewolves. I met a werewolf.
Oh, that's right. I'm speaking for myself.
Yeah, so
I kind of do like to pretend that thing with you never happened.
Well,
quite frankly.
I like to pretend that almost everything with Mike never happens. It lets me sleep.
I don't know. Maybe it was all a dream, and it just feels so long ago. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, I don't know. Have you seen Bob dad, or Bob for that matter?
I friended him on Facebook, and I asked him if his dad was still a werewolf, and he said yes, and that the werewolves, much like the Catholic Church, are working their way into power, and he's climbing the political ladder to create a new werewolf government.
Great. So I guess he was telling you that in confidence then.
Yeah. Shit.
Well, dog is out of the bag.
Go. Shit.
Are there werecats?
You know, it's funny you bring that up, and this is a whole separate discussion.
Are they sexy, weird cat girls?
Well, I know that the song, I think dogs and cats don't live together.
Right. If they would, that would be mass hysteria.
Mass hysteria.
Yeah,
of course. And I know
it's against the rules and the laws of God.
I know it was love cats, particularly, that brought the wolf spirit out of me.
Yeah.
And purged it.
Well, actually, werecats are, if werewolves are a real thing, then werecats also are a real thing. This is going off of some stuff I've looked into, because actually, I was at my wit's end, and so I started posting on 43 Things.
Okay.
You know that forum where we found all that hilarious werewolf shit with all those kids pretending to be werewolves, or maybe some of them are werewolves. Anyway, I started posting on there. We're going to have a link to the site where you can see all the crazy that I got bombarded with, and we're going to read some of it later. But what I've learned is that there's lycanthropes, and they're werewolves. Mm-hmm. And then there's therianthropes, which is it's more. I think it's more in line with kind of like the traditional Native American-esque, like indigenous peoples kind of spiritual belief system of actually being able to
turn into a crow,
consciously become an animal of any kind and not lose control, not be some kind of awkward place in between like a werewolf, but actually to be that creature.
Oh, like full on.
Yeah, full on animal. Huh. So there's therianthropes, and
how can I prove that my cat isn't one of those and secretly a human living here rent free?
Well, you have to
magic dust.
I don't have that.
The only way you can prove it is through the law, legally. So you need to get a lawyer that specializes
cat law.
Yeah, in cat law or.
Yeah, I know a good bird law guy. Maybe you can refer to me.
Hopefully. So.
Anyway, from that line of inquiry, I discovered that there are werecats, like not just therianthropic people who can turn into cats, but also werecats, and that they've actually had a prominent place in folklore throughout the ages, which actually is kind of from a badass standpoint. That's pretty awesome that there are also werecats, like that. There's like werepanthers in Africa and stuff like that.
That's like werelions.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Is that like Anita Blake where she has sex with all those like?
Well, that happens in there. Yeah.
I think that's just a porno comic.
It is.
It is, and it's about having sex with different. It's like a furry comic.
Did she do mummies?
No. She only has sex with vampires and wares.
Yeah, she gets powers from like were animals and
Yeah.
having sex with them specifically. I've never read them. I've only read about them thanks to Penny Arcade. It just sounds very
It
awesome.
sounds kind of amazing.
Yeah, it sounds totally hot.
But the thing is that I've been reading porn stories about that since I was like 14 on the internet. So
Yeah.
I don't see why it's a woman who writes that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see why that bitch gets to make money off of things that I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me.
I don't
Is
know.
high class porn? Is that what it is? Because I mean, quite honestly, I don't think you're probably getting as much out of it as you are as stuff on the internet. So.
I think with that weird like whole genre of like Twilight and Anita Blake, I think if you can tap into that pseudo goth market of jacking off to vampire and werewolf porn, but like make it so you get published, boom, money in the bank. Because if you've even tried to read any of those, they read about as bad as internet fan fiction.
I need to make Robo have sex with really hot cat girls.
Oh, I'll write it right now.
If Robo was a sex novel, I think that you would. I mean, I know there's girls who have things about robots.
Mhm.
I basically, Brian, I think you're sitting on a gold mine. You
think
just need
you're
to
right.
lower your standards exponentially.
Yeah.
Big time.
Anyway, my favorite instance of werecats actually in popular media is a film called Cat People.
Oh, it's a great movie.
It's a remake of a 1942 movie made in 1982. It's got incredible art direction. It's got Malcolm McDowell in it. And it actually is a very sexy movie, but also an extremely violent movie.
Yeah.
It's got some weird rules, and I don't know if this applies to real werecats or not.
Depends on if they saw the movie.
Yeah. Well, if they see the movie, they're bound to those rules.
Yeah.
Here's how it works. The only way that you can have sex and not turn into a panther and then have to like maul and eat somebody to turn back into a person, the only way that won't happen if you have sex is by having sex with your blood relation.
Ugh.
So Malcolm McDowell's tracking
Relevant.
down his long-lost sister, and so they can have a life together because they were meant to be together, because they need to be together just like their parents, who were also brother and sister, were together.
Ah.
And, man, that movie is so good. It's got this fucked up little plot and a bunch of ultra-violence, and the transformation sequences are insane because when they transform, the beast rips out of them, and likewise the human. It's crazy. And also, Giorgio Moroder, famous synth composer, does the soundtrack, and David Bowie did a song for the soundtrack. It's so good. Now that I've talked so much about it, we're gonna actually not go into a song from Cat People, but I kind of wish we were. I had a little joke that was in my head when we were waiting for the police to come to Dean's house, and this is really
That's a great phrase.
Genuinely kind of morbid. But do you guys know the song called "Dog Police" by the band Dog Police? It's
No.
this really infectious tune from 1982. It was this kind of like
Was that the Who Let the Dogs Out?
No, earlier than that. Anyway, we're gonna play it. It was shortly before this happened with Dean that I saw the video. It's got an insane video, really really funny, and this act just kind of faded into obscurity. I couldn't really find any information about them at all. But here's "Dog Police" by Dog Police.
Hello, I'm Charles Barkey, famous former werewolf basketball player. When I saw how Michael J. Fox brought it to the court in Teen Wolf, I thought, why can't that be me? So I went out and barked up a lot of the wrong trees. Dark alleys, deep woods, and a lot of old men pawing at my balls. And I'm not talking about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Being a werewolf is not all catching sticks and chasing tail. Some days you wake up naked in a field covered in ticks, 30 miles from your luxury condominium. Some days you have to explain to your supermodel girlfriend why there are 5 pregnant strays crapping on the floor. Sometimes you wake up wearing a little kid's face as a party mask. When it comes to pro sports, using wolf powers is as bad as juicing, splooshin', and moosing. It's cheating, and I couldn't live with myself being a cheater. But I decided not to ride the silver bullet straight to hell. Thanks to No Fangs and the music of Robert Smith, I'm cured. I'm Charles Barkey, and if someone's pressuring you to become a creature of the night, just say No Fangs. Paid for by No Fangs, the American Legion of Werewolf Hunters.
What you just heard was Werewolves by Night by Playing with Guns. Playing with Guns actually submitted an entry to our Blackest Night song fight contest. A song called Brain Eating Spaceman. It was actually our favorite track.
Oh, yeah.
And it wasn't the winner because it very clearly wasn't about Blackest Night, but it was completely awesome.
It was the best song.
It was the best song by far. And Werewolves by Night is an awesome track. And there's a link to their album, Race with the Devil, on nerdyshow.com. So what you also heard between those tracks was a PSA that we got from No Fangs, an organization that Nerdy Show is working with this episode to try to send out a clear message, and one that I'm sure Mike can get behind, which is just to say, if someone wants you to become a paranormal creature, a creature of the night, just say No Fangs.
Yeah, if no fangs existed when I was, infected, it's like just say no to drugs. It's that simple. You just say no fangs, and it puts the.
Is there like a hand symbol? Can you put up like your pointer fingers by your mouth?
Yes, it's best to keep all things in towards your body so they don't get bitten.
Yeah, but if you just do like the little pretend you have fangs with your fingers. Yeah, like I guarantee all of our listeners are trying it right now.
Okay,
and,
cool.
And if you're not, pick it up and try it. Anyway, we're gonna be playing some other PSAs from No Fangs, just in case that argument wasn't good enough, because it's not just werewolves, guys. I mean, like, the vampire problem is a problem, whether it's just teens pretending to be vampires or if vampires are real.
Either way.
And personally, I'm not convinced that mummies don't also have fangs.
Mummies definitely have fangs.
Well, they definitely have snakes inside of them, and the snakes have fangs.
All right, that's enough.
The thing is, if any of this is true, and all this crazy shit that's happened to us in the last month just, I don't know, makes me question an awful lot of things. If this is true, then it's more than just kids kind of wasting their life trying to identify with some kind of creatures of the night, because that can turn into the real thing, and all of a sudden, you're a vampire and you actually don't have a soul anymore, or at the very least you're dead but alive. I don't know. If that's real, then what else isn't real, right? So with us, actually, on the phone right now, we've got a guy named Luke McDuffie. He's from a band called Framing Hanley, and he's actually a listener of the show. Mike and I got a chance to meet him when the band was in town. We hung out with him.
Oh, yeah,
had a really good time.
That was a blast.
And turns out he's also a spokesman for No Fangs. Are you there, Luke?
I am indeed. How are you guys?
Doing all right, man. It's really good to have you on the show. It's really good to talk to you again.
Oh, it's great to be here. A long-time fan, a first-time guest. That was the cheesiest thing I've ever said in my life.
Oh, it'll get worse.
It can only get worse. Well, tell us about the No Fangs program and what you're doing for them.
Well, we're really, I get out and I travel around trying to spread the message to kids that they don't have to become horrible creatures of the night in order to be cool, And it's not just that they shouldn't do this for themselves, but they also should do this because they're going to be harming others, because in order to live, they would, in fact, have to eat people. And I don't think a lot of them are aware of that. I think why can't they just be getting into normal things that normal kids do, like drugs and hard music?
It was good enough for our parents. It was good enough for us.
Like, seriously.
It's a simple way. I mean, people have been abusing substances for years, and I'm not saying it's okay. That's not what I do. But, or you could forfeit your soul,
Yeah.
Or you could become a monster that just has no rhyme or reason and takes a life.
Did you hear about those kids, like, sucking that homeless man's blood? Yeah, this was like October 13th, I think. 24-year-old Aaron Homer and 21-year-old Amanda Williamson, and
that is too old.
These are not attractive people.
Oh my God, I'm looking at them right now.
Yeah.
Those are 20-somethings?
Those are 20-somethings.
They look like 40-somethings.
One of those is a girl.
No.
Yeah, seriously.
No.
Is what this lifestyle does to people?
They were paying a homeless man to every now and then they would suck his blood, like literally. And he got fed up with it eventually and said no. He took objection and he taunted them cruelly, and they stabbed him to death for not letting him suck his blood, and then they sucked his blood.
And that is exactly how far things have gone. God, we're not bullshitting you guys. Mike showed me, that's a real article. I'll have a link to it on the site, I guess. That's fucking news to me, though. My God, like, how did it get this bad? Our fucking friend disappears.
Yeah.
A homeless guy gets his. God, of course.
Could be related.
Well, these are vampires. These are definitely vampires.
And the vampires and werewolves are at war with each other.
Yeah, they're at war with each other, as seen in the what are those movies called?
What, The Howling?
No, the movie with
Underworld.
Underwear. The Underworld series.
Yeah.
You mean the Underworld documentary series?
True.
So, Luke, you're a listener of the show, so you're probably familiar with the 43 Things board, where we initially found all those people. They could be young teens, they could be, like 20-somethings like us, pretending to be werewolves or actually, like, being werewolves and communicating online. How much that sort of thing do you encounter when you travel to schools and everything? Like, do you meet kids who are werewolves, or is it, like, do they keep to the shadows?
Oh, in every school there's always the group, with their Jinko jeans and their trench coats hiding under the bleachers, and I have to go and they really are the ones that need the help. You have to go and tell them that it's not necessary. There are other ways to be happy.
I was a dark teen. Like, I wasn't a goth.
Right.
I teetered on that edge. I did wear a trench coat. Actually, I got in a lot of trouble for it because I was wearing a trench coat because I wanted to look like Kevin Smith. And
fair enough.
You needed to put on a lot more weight.
Actually, I was a fatty back then too. Not Kevin Smith big, but chunky. And I listened to classic rock music. and I wore a trench coat, so it was no good. And, that put me as the odd man out for a while. And it's tough when you're a nerd, but you like progressive rock music. And it's not 1978 anymore. You can't just, be a cool, well, I'd say cool with quotation marks, nerd playing D&D in a basement.
Listening to Rush.
Yeah, just loving Rush, hardcore. You end up as, this fat kid in a trench coat hiding under bleachers during a pep rally because it's fucking mandatory. What the hell?
Those mandatory pep rallies were bullshit.
I mean, if you want something different, I feel you.
Yeah, I mean, hanging out under the bleachers, it's always a dangerous thing, but that's what we had to do back in high school. And I mean, yeah, there was all sorts of weird shit down there. There was all the different social cliques of the Monster Mash. I mean, you had the mummies and the vampires and the werewolves, and you had the creature from the Black Lagoons.
Hate that guy.
Just all and the Frankensteins, and it was just
This is what you did. This is your bleachers.
Yeah, these
at Monster High.
You went to school with them.
Yeah, I mean, maybe
he was in the class ahead of me. I barely knew this guy when he was
Yeah.
actually in high school with me.
Yeah,
Barely knew him.
I don't know. Maybe I just had an overactive imagination, but there was a bunch of weird kids under the bleachers. And,
Mike, I think it is your imagination, and I'm pretty sure you think you're talking about last week.
Yes, I am.
As a matter of fact.
Now I went on 43 things. I created an account. My name
What
is
the hell's 43 things even mean?
It's a list of shit you want to do in your life, and it's to help you realize your goals. I have no fucking clue. All I know is it's a breeding ground for werewolf terrorists.
What could the 43 things be for a werewolf? It's eat somebody, pee on tree.
The most frequented board is become a werewolf, and that's the one where I posted a couple places, and that's the only one where I actually got some activity. But there are all kinds of things like find a mate. I saw one that was start a classic rock band with other werewolves. I really wanted to post on that one, but I just didn't think I was going to get anywhere. Though, admittedly, I would probably really like that classic rock band.
I mean, I'm not a fan of werewolves, but I am a fan of werewolf metal.
Yes, I would concur.
I would say a good metal song about a werewolf is at least worth 1 million boners.
Yeah, Red Rockets.
Yeah, 1 million Red Rockets. So I went on, my name was Concerned Friend, as I created this account for Dean. I said, becoming a werewolf is your own choice. I don't begrudge you, and I don't believe that werewolves are inherently evil. And, I maybe they are, maybe they aren't. I've known Mike for a long time, and turns out he was a werewolf for most of that time. So,
much to my surprise.
I can't really say what is and is not, and I wanted some help from these guys, so I wasn't going to accuse them of anything. And I told them that a friend of mine disappeared, and that it looks like a werewolf did it, and that I'm just looking for answers to find him. I mentioned Lunario. Let's try to see if that name rung a chord with anybody. And I emphasized that Dean's a hunter, an ex-Marine, and a loving father. He told me he could handle this disagreement with his son, and I believed him, and that I found his house trashed. Well, the response was mixed at best. There was a lot of people who, or wolves, who wished me well on my quest, but the board was actually become a werewolf. That's the thing they wanted to do.
Right.
But
so it's full of werewolves.
Right. You'd think. But then a lot of them were posting to me saying, sorry, look, we're not werewolves, we're Therians. And I was like, what is a Therian? So I looked it up. Therian's short for Therianthrope, as I mentioned before. And that was confusing because it's called Become a Werewolf.
Don't judge me.
I know, right?
Now, are we going to read some of these?
We're going to read some of these.
Can I read this first one? Because it's a personal favorite.
Oh, yes, please do. This. I assume you're going to read this in the style of how we read My Immortal?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
I'm going to put extra emphasis on Z's.
Okay.
So
you'll know when it's supposed to be an S, and it kind
be?
of buzzes like an insect, that it is a Z.
Werewolves aren't evil, so either lion or toes peoples are damn wannabe werewolves. But if they don't really did kill him or take him or something, it's because his son is misunderstood by his father, and he doesn't want to be alone or something. No, number one, understands me, and I hate being so lonely. There's no other werewolves here where I live, so he probably just had it. His dad doesn't understand him, and he didn't want others finding out and trying to kill him. Now this is in parentheses. Werewolf hunters hate them, so he probably hid somewhere to talk to him to get him to understand, 'cause werewolves really are innocent and nice unless you get them pissed. Back to parentheses.
This is my favorite part.
Sorry, I don't spell right. It's the comp. I don't gotta spell. It ain't grammar class.
Thanks, man. Thanks for your reply. I really appreciate it.
I think I know why no one understands him.
It's all
more literal than metaphysical.
Yeah, a lot of his words are disemboweled, and he just loves to let it Z.
Disemboweled?
Yeah, disemboweled.
So that was actually the first response I got. It wasn't particularly encouraging. I replied to him. I tried to be reasonable about it. I explained to him that I couldn't say if they were werewolves or not, but they definitely thought they were, and that Dean is a loving father, and Gary's the one who's confused. Not Dean. Then I started getting with the replies about therianthropes and everything. So I apologized to the first guy, Kaz101, who replied to us. That guy before, by the way, was Howls of Fire. I said, sorry, I don't know. I said, sorry if I'm posting in the wrong place. I looked up therianthropes. I guess the distinction is that you turn from a human into an animal. I assured them that I wasn't blaming him or anyone, but the people who were responsible, because a lot of them were kind of defensive. They were like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, well, I think I was pretty clear that I'm not posting on a board filled with werewolves, accusing werewolves of anything, except for the ones that, took Dean from us. Anyway, so I asked him what I thought was a reasonable question. I said, can you sense emotional disturbances or other supernatural beings?
Sure.
All my real world leads have dried up, so what am I going to do? His reply was okay. He actually said he hasn't sensed anything, and that he'd ask his pack and all that. But I got a great reply from a schmuck named XXQB XX. It's just this is beautiful.
Cubby, what's it? Is that like cub?
QU by I don't know. Maybe it's
I want to know why it's triple X.
I know by. Maybe by triple X. Maybe I'm just reading it wrong. Dude, we are not weirdos. We are people who shift into animals, and we cannot sense ghosts and stuff, dumbass.
And that's one sentence with no punctuation. It's just amazing.
I'm sorry. I mean, my reply to him was just as cynical as it's supposed to be. I said, you're right. How silly of me to think that people using magic or spiritual powers might be able to sense things beyond the perception of regular humans. Silly me. Silly me. I sincerely hope that my friend is alive and well and that you learn some manners. Just because you turn into an animal doesn't mean you have to be a jackass.
Now, are there were-donkeys? Actually, there are in D&D.
Really?
Yeah, there are were-donkeys, at least in advanced, back in second.
Whoa.
What was that? Holy shit.
What the fuck is that? That was really weird.
That was fucking creepy.
What the hell was that?
I don't know. I wish X was here. He knows where all the fucking audio shit is. But
now, see, I don't remember much of when I was a werewolf. I remember like my day-to-day regular life kind of stuff, but I don't ever remember the actual transforming or anything. But I do remember a connection to the spirit world, and I was haunted by ghosts in that old house as I
right, in the Twin Peaks, Twin Peaks episode,
right?
Twin
Peaks episode.
Yeah, we're talking about actual haunting experiences that we'd had and actual paranormal experiences. And yeah, I mean, like, I remember you told me that ghost story a long time ago, and it's completely fucked up.
Yeah, and so, I don't know, I feel like that was probably only possible because my connection to the paranormal. And maybe when you're a theanthropope, when I think
let's stick with that version.
When I think when you're a theanthropope,
that's beautiful.
When you're the anthropope.
When I think you're anthropope, maybe you don't have that connection to the ghost stuff. I don't know, man.
I don't know. I mean, one way or another, you're pretty fucking mystical. I don't know what that guy. If a lot of them on that board accuse other people of being fake and everything. There's one right there. You cannot communicate with the spirit world, but you can turn into an animal. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Straight up bullshit.
Now, did anyone sense anything or say they could or?
And one of them said that they could sense things, but he didn't sense anything. And then a lot of guys were just like, "Hey, don't accuse werewolves. We're not werewolves." And but we hope you find their friend. They were generally pretty nice about it.
Now I'm on the forum right now,
Uh-huh.
and everyone's picture is kind of like a MySpace picture, except it's a wolf. Now, are these actually pictures of them? Like, are these mirror shots? Did they set up their camera with a timer, turn into a wolf, and then take a picture?
Dude, you got me, man. You don't remember becoming a wolf.
Yeah.
But then again, they're therianthropes, so I have no idea. All bets are off at this point. So the werewolf problem, it seems like it's pretty substantial at this point. It is a fad in a lot of ways. I mean, I'd say there's way more kids who wish they were werewolves for whatever reason, rather than people who actually are werewolves, unless I'm mistaken. I mean,
that's been my experience in my visits to schools and such.
Have you ever had kids come out to you?
You do. You get the occasional one who comes up and they say, "I have something to show you," and then they pull down their pants at the back, and you're like, "Whoa, I can't be doing that." And then a tail pops out, and then you have a whole other set of issues to deal with, as well as the lawsuit.
There's an expression
That
on my
sounds
face.
very complicated.
Yeah. I don't know if you should be following the kids if they're pulling their pants down. I'm just saying.
They didn't really tell me about all that when I signed up for this, but I try to do well, try to do good for these people.
There was actually something that a number that was in the forums that I saw in a separate post. It said, if you ever need help, call this phone number. My name is Kiba. I know the elders. I can help at any time. Now, the help they were referring to is in regards to like werewolf hunters being a werewolf. I think it was in response to a young werewolf, if I remember correctly. So it's a long shot, but I've kind of been wanting to call this number.
I think we should definitely call, because the werewolf government, which is
There are lives at stake here.
Yeah, the elders are probably like the anthropopes of the werewolf Vatican, right? So let's get Keisha on the phone.
It's Kiba, Mike.
Kiba. Get it right.
We want the help. We don't want to.
Yeah, we don't want to piss her off.
You don't want to rub their fur the wrong way.
Yeah, dude.
They hate that.
All right, here we go. That spooky noise again.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, this is Taylor McCullough. Leave your name and number, get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you.
At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options. To leave a callback number, press 5.
Hi, Kiba. I saw your phone number on the 43 Things forum, and I'm not a werewolf, but a friend of mine may have been attacked by some malicious werewolves. I know that's not a popular opinion, but it's...
I mean, there are bad people in the world, so there may be some bad werewolves, and we think that our friend was a victim of these werewolf attacks.
So, if at all possible, if you could contact us, concerned friend at 43 Things. We're hoping for just any kind of leads. He's been missing for 2 weeks, and we believe that the culprit's name was Gary Wallace, who's a kind of new to this werewolf game, and he's being manipulated by an older werewolf named Lunario von Darkwolf III. So if you could get back to us, that would be great. Thank you very much.
If you are satisfied with your message, press 1. To listen to your message, press 2. To erase and re-record,
1.
Press 3. To continue
1.
recording where you left
Hit
off,
1.
press 4.
Press 1.
1.
If I just disconnect it, it'll be fine.
Are you still there? If you are satisfied with your...
Okay. We got that crazy hissing back. What is that?
Luke, is that you?
Luke, are you there?
Luke.
Luke?
You there, Luke?
I seem to have lost...
Luke?
Luke?
Hello?
Oh, there you are.
You alright, man?
I don't know what just happened. Did anybody else hear that really creepy sound at the beginning of the phone call?
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of creepy sounds.
It's like, I don't know.
Maybe that's the kind of cell phone coverage you get when you're familiar with the elders of the werewolf community.
Yeah, I imagine the
Wolfnet.
It's Wolfnet. It's a mobile phone service. It actually, because if you look at what...
And it's not so much a network with satellites as it is a network of P marks on trees.
Yeah, and so if you ever look at your coverage map of your service, you notice it's focused on cities and roads. This, if you go to the coverage, you see it's mostly wooded
cemeteries.
Yeah, cemeteries, wooded areas, places of haunting. You know,
can I get dual coverage on my phone? That would be really helpful.
Seriously, if you're in a haunted place.
Oh, but then if it's got this ghost problem on the phone, I mean, it does sound like things whispering.
Well, yeah, things are going through the astral plane. And so
You can't have dead people listening in on all your phone calls.
Oh yeah, I talk a lot of shit about dead people.
Yeah, you do.
And like, I'm just gonna call up all my buddies at RIP Lols, and we're a phone group. We text each other and call each other and say horribly rude things about dead celebrities.
And there's also all those like comic book artists who are dead or whose sons are dead who we talk really ill of frequently.
Pretty much 24/7.
Yeah. Well, I guess I won't be getting that phone service. I think we need a break, so real quick, let me butt in with some hot new music. This is a new single from I Fight Dragons, if you can believe it or not. After months and months of being completely and utterly quiet, they released a new song on their mailing list. It's a track called Sorcery. And for everyone that was worried about I Fight Dragons being dead or I Fight Dragons having abandoned their chiptune sound, this is one of their best tracks ever. So what more can I say than that?
As a teen in the 21st century, there's a lot of pressure to become a werewolf or a vampire. And hey, being immortal or being able to lick your own junk sounds cool, but what about the consequences? Killer sunburns and shredded threads make Team Edward and Team Jacob look major league uncool. And hey, I hate my dad as much as the next kid, so why would I want some skeezy wolf dad or Darth Dracula yanking my crank? That's why I'm taking the advice of cool alt music celebs like Panda Bear, Robert Smith, and Framing Hanley bassist Luke McDuffie to say no thanks. I mean, come on, Underworld wasn't even that good a movie.
What you just heard was Scientistic, a remix. The song's originally by Benjamin Bear, and the remix is by Sinister Six. I'm getting that weird interference again, and it's gone. Okay.
What in the hell is that?
Anyway, I was actually looking through Hex's notes. Something I missed out on that's kind of interesting. It's something I didn't know about at all. Is that Sorcery track by I Fight Dragons? That's the first track that they've released since Laura was kicked out of the band.
Wait, there isn't a girl anymore?
Yeah, right? I mean, like, I didn't realize that had happened. I mean, that she was fun. We met her. I liked her. She was cool. They had a girl in the band. Instant plus. That made them, like, I don't know, extra cool. I hope they replaced her with another girl.
Or a dude who's equally as hot.
You know what I would really like to see? I would really like to see a band that has a trap as like a lead
man.
singer. That would be kind of awesome, actually.
Yeah, I watched Wild Zero the other day. It's a Japanese zombie flick.
Oh yeah.
And the main love interest is a trap, and she is definitely the hottest person in the movie.
Wow.
Hotter than all the other females.
Is she hotter than Harley Quinn, that famous internet trap?
I don't know. That chick's really hot.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
And
What the hell is that fucking interference? Ah! Anyway, Luke, one of the things you do as like a traveling spokesperson for No Fangs is you write songs, right?
I do, yes.
You're in a band. You write songs. Actually, before I get into this, and I'm gonna ask you to play one of your songs because I'm really curious. Framing Hanley. Now, I'm sure that's a band that not a lot of our listeners are familiar with, but you guys are actually like pretty popular. Tell us about the band, how that got started.
So me and the drummer have been in bands since we were both in high school, and this is kind of the final iteration of members that we've settled into, and yeah. We actually recorded a couple of demos and sent them off to a guy who lives in Orlando near you guys named Brett Hessla, and he recorded some higher quality demos with us and sent them off to people that he knew, and they signed us to their indie label, and now here we are.
What kind of audiences do you guys have generally? When Mike and I went there was a lot of young teen girls there.
A lot of hot tail.
Yeah,
Down boy.
Mike, you're welcome at all shows, and I will always look the other way.
I mean, I like my teens in the higher level of teens, like
high digits.
Yeah,
16.
Yeah, 16.
I hate you.
That's above the halfway point. So.
So you round up.
Yeah, I just round up from that because I mean.
That's practically 30.
That'll hold up in court every time.
Oh yeah, it does.
Let's hear a song now. What paranormal creature is this song targeted to? Do you have songs that target specific kinds of paranormal creatures? How does it work?
Yes, I have songs specifically for vampires and specifically for werewolves. And I haven't really got to Creature from the Black Lagoon yet, but we're getting there.
Well, it's only a matter of time before. I mean, because it is based on trends. We're gonna see a shift to something, and vampires and werewolves have both had their time.
Yeah,
it's gonna be something else. I don't know what it's gonna be, but
before long, it'll be kids running around with fake gills and flippers all over the place.
There's that noise again.
It's creepy.
Yeah, what the hell is that? See, this is why Hex needs to be here.
He can bust the ghost for us, so we don't have to.
Is it? I mean, is it a ghost? Is it? It's like it's
gone. As soon as we start talking about it.
Where is Hex?
She's still dealing with those cats, I guess.
I know from personal experience that cats does not take that long to clean up.
He just needs to, spank those cats. You just beat that pussy up. All right.
God damn it.
All right, let's hear this werewolf song.
This is He's a Werewolf Now. Hope you enjoy it. I had a friend named Reverend Brown. He used to be the pastor in town. He he always was the nicest guy around. But I found out last Monday, the Rev got roughed up Sunday. He got bit by a wolf on the edge of town. Yeah, he's a werewolf now. Yeah, he's a werewolf now. Well, I told him once or twice not to walk home through the woods at night. Yeah, he's a werewolf now. I went out last Tuesday. I met a girl named Susie. I said I was the swellest guy around. We started spending my money, and she started calling me honey. She bit me when her mouth was way downtown. Yeah, I'm a werewolf now. Yeah, I'm a werewolf now. Well, I told that girl right to her face, ah, you bit me in the dick!
Now, if I have ever heard a compelling argument, that is it, right there.
One of the many unmentioned hazards of being a werewolf and dating werewolf.
That's true. Think about how many dudes' dicks you bit, Mike.
While being a werewolf, not like in general.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I've got to say that I have, in my human form, I have bitten 0 dicks. But
that is a lie. I have the marks to prove it.
That's the real reason Brian's never sleeping over again.
That's the real reason I moved 800 miles away.
But there are many times when I woke up in the woods and there was a dick in my mouth and there was nothing attached to it.
That's hilarious, but also awful.
Yeah.
And I am really glad that you got over that shit.
If you look in the police reports of South Florida, there was a serial killer. This is something I'm not proud of. They thought what I was doing was a sick serial killer who was killing people, mauling them like an animal, and ripping their dicks off. And I'm 100% certain it was me, because always after these reports, I had a case of the dick mouth. And
Is it okay for you to be saying this?
I think there's a statute of limitations. You should be safe.
Yeah, definitely safe.
Well, if anything, Bob's dad will, sweep it under the table.
It's my understanding is that that's what happened. I would get phone calls in the middle of the night from the anthropope, and he would he would tell me that everything was taken care of, and I would say, "What, man?" And he said, "Your dick mouth." And I would just I would just play stupid because I didn't want to admit it. It was embarrassing.
We've got a number calling us, but it's not a number. It's all like squares, like when you get foreign keys typed in and your computer doesn't recognize it.
Or like missing now.
It might be Kia or Kiba or Kiba calling us. Let me pick up.
Hello?
Dean? Dean, is that you?
Hello?
Dean?
Yeah.
Dean, it's Cap.
Holy shit, Dean, where are you?
I don't know.
Dean, where have you been these 2 weeks? What's going on?
I'm not sure where I am. It's dark. Can't see much.
Are you locked up? Are you in a cave?
No.
No?
No, I don't remember much. It feels like it was just yesterday, but also an eternity.
What was, Dean? Did
Gary?
Gary
came to my house. Gary came over and started yelling and going on. And then the next thing I know, I was here.
It's been 2 weeks, Dean. How long have you been there?
I don't know. It's like time doesn't exist here.
Is there any like sounds or smells, or is there any kind of clues you can give us? It
sounds like nothing and everything.
What
the fuck does that mean?
Is there walls, or how big is the space you're in?
I can run. I just run forever, man. I can run as far as I want. I'm not even holding a phone right now.
You have Bluetooth?
No. I don't even know what that is. I got a hog's tooth.
Oh, Dean, it's really good to hear from you, but this sounds completely bizarre. Can you see anything? Or I think he's out.
Yeah, hold on. I can see one thing. There's a light. There's a light real far away. I'm going to run towards it. Hold on.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
whoa! Don't.
It could be the train.
Wait, I'm running to light. It's like, there's a hand coming out of it. It's reaching for me. Hold on, I'm gonna grab this hand.
No, don't grab that hand.
Dean, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, man. Hold on, it looks real nice.
No.
Hold on, I'm gonna get it. Hold on, I'm coming.
No,
I'm
Dean,
coming.
don't, Dean, don't.
No, it's got it. I can hear something.
What do you hear?
I can hear something.
What do you hear?
It's the most beautiful sound I've ever heard.
Dean, I think you might be having a near-death experience, and I don't know how you called us, but I think you've called us. If that's what's happening right now, then you need to not go in that light, buddy, because you still want to live.
Yeah, it's gonna take you away, man.
I don't know where you are, but I'm gonna find you.
Yeah, man, but it feels warm when I get near the light.
Dean, Cheryl and Steven are worried about you, man.
But all my worries are gone over there, man.
No.
But your wife and your son, the one who's not crazy, they still care about you. I don't know what they're
Yeah.
gonna do without you, man. You stay the hell away from that light. You're not a quitter, Dean. Are you a quitter?
No, I reckon not.
Then don't you go in that fucking light, man.
Dude, who's
All right, man.
gonna, keep me in line? If you're gone, dude, I'm gonna turn wild.
Yeah, Mike, stop being a werewolf out of fear of you.
I guess I gotta do it for Mike and my family, don't I?
Do it mostly for your family.
No, dude, mostly for me.
Shut up, Mike.
Shush.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna turn away. There's something on the other side. It's like a handle or something.
No, just stay where you are. If there's any way you can tell us, like, any clues about where you are really, where your body is. Or wake up.
Yeah, but
Wake up, Dean.
the door over here is not just hello.
No.
The sign says hello.
Are you sure? Are you sure it says?
Wait. That's not no. That's not no. That's a period.
Don't go through that door.
Don't go through that door, Dean. Do you remember anything after what you said?
Yeah, I remember Gary came over
Mm-hmm.
and he started acting real weird. He would leave these weird voicemails on my phone. He finally came to my place and he was acting like a crazy man. So he started getting all weird and growing up. So I shot at him. And that's the last thing. Wait, no.
Dean?
He came after me. I started driving and he was on top.
Holy shit.
What?
Oh my God. I don't remember. My truck ran into something. That's the last thing I remember. Where am I? Oh my God, Cap. Am I dead?
Dean,
Am I in an afterlife?
It sounds like you're in between, and you need to stay right there. We need to resuscitate you. We need to get you back to life.
Gotta save me, man.
don't worry, Dean. We're
Oh
gonna...
my God. What is that?
Dean? It's gone. I don't know what to do. I mean, like, he's obviously, like, trapped between life and death. I think those are some pretty clear signs there, but...
I think he's on a lot of drugs. That's what I'm going with.
Dean
I
gets...
don't know, what if he's really gone, and then the only job he's going to be able to get is to find Michael J. Fox and help him be a fake psychic?
Well, there could be worse things, really.
And I mean, I think it's a good sign.
I mean, he's alive somewhere. I don't know how to help him, though. I don't know where he is. I mean, I hope he calls back.
From purgatory. Maybe you only get the one call.
Oh, God.
I get a lot of phone calls that are just babies crying. I think it's unbaptized babies that probably are abortions of mine.
No. That's a common misconception. I've heard about that a lot, actually. It's actually baby monitors. It's really easy for cell phones and baby monitors to kind of get their signals crossed.
Oh, okay.
Okay. That's scary.
However, if that's happening, chances are a lot of your calls, if you've been like, where's the person on the other end, it's possible as have also been coming out of baby monitors.
Oh, shit. Oh, man. So I should really stop
Talking ever, period.
Yeah. Oh, my God. There was that entire 6 years of my life where I just called people pretending to be Captain Dick Balls.
That sounds good. Go
Good
on.
times.
Yeah, and
That was you!
yeah, I just call people up and I'd be like, I'm Captain Dick Balls, Captain of the Dick Balls Police Academy, and I would like to investigate your scrot. And then I would hang up on people, and I'm really uncomfortable knowing that that's coming out of baby monitors.
That's good.
Okay, we've been going at this for a while. Let's go to a track.
Okay.
We're going to switch things up a little bit, since No Fangs is about all kinds of paranormal creatures. It's a track called Vampire Killer by Nazo Project. Now, in our mini-sode, Jonna, one of our new video game co-hosts, brought up that there is a 1991 Castlevania album that features some early 90s style raps about vampires and Dracula.
Oh man, that was some high quality stuff, dude.
I was blown away by how crazy that was. There's actually only a few tracks on that album that actually are in that style. There's a lot of ones that are just kind of like better synth arrangements of Castlevania tracks than were available on games in 1991. But this, Vampire Killer, is a killer vampire rap track. I like to think of it as the cop killer of vampires. Admittedly, it's not as brutal. I wish it was.
It's a pretty good name. It's named after the infamous whip that is used in all the Castlevania games.
Oh, I'm a tard. There you go.
So the name of the whip is actually Vampire Killer.
I didn't know that either.
It does make me feel a little bit better. At least I'm not a complete failure. Anyway, here's the track. Greetings. I'm a gothic youth. Though I cling to the shadows and find tender respite in the withering arms of death, I cherish my fragile humanity and the fleeting life which is my mortality. Why, you may inquire, would one with as bleak an outlook as I hold on to this meager human life? Why not aspire to be sired by a beautiful pale-visaged vampire and fly through the night air as a glorious arbiter of eternal life and death? Because only in experiencing this dismal human life can one know true longing and sorrow. Only in having a heart pumping life's blood through your weary veins can you lean against a mossy rock with the back of your palm placed ever so daintily on your forehead and mournfully weep. Daggers of woe, surely no one has learnt to weep as deeply as I. Would that I could sleep the slumber of a corpse in the frigid and somber. Only by living can one's existence be truly imbued with such revelatory poetry, lured in its blithe mournfulness. Do as I have done, weary traveler, say no fangs to the noble vampire. If he sets upon you, take your own life, lest you succumb to the morbid joy of life eternal, and renounce the true nature of what it is to be gothic. This has been a gothic youth, asking you to say no fangs. You just heard was Ghost Ride It by Mr. Fab. That's one of my favorite hip-hop tracks. It references Ghostbusters and Ghost, and well, we've been having a lot of Ghost problems, so I thought it was appropriate.
Hey.
And motherfucking Hex is back.
Holy shit.
It took you long enough, dude. You would not fucking believe what's been going on while you were gone. Like, not by a long shot.
You guys, I don't even want to hear it. I do not want to hear it with what I had to deal with tonight.
What, cat shit?
No. So Diana called. She was freaking out about the cats. I didn't really understand what was going on, so I didn't really retell whatever she was saying right. I get to my apartment.
I said a bunch of shit, but I made it all up.
I believe it. I get to my apartment, and there's this big hulking figure at my door, looks over at me, red glowing eyes, and jumps over the balcony.
What?
I am freaking out. I'm frozen. The bats that like hang out at my apartment, they're squawking up a storm. I walk over to my door, and there's like what I assume to be like saliva and scratch marks.
Did you taste it?
No, I did not taste
it. It could be
Dude,
jizz.
this is serious.
That is really serious.
So,
Hold on. So I
Red
walk
eyes?
in. Yeah.
So you think it was like some sort of
I don't-
mask, or I'm gonna get all Scully on you here. It's probably just a crackhead.
I don't know what it was.
Got into the wrong
but it was
stuff.
dude, I have this standing rule: if any figure is bigger than me,
Oh yeah, you're
I
giant.
immediately
This thing was
freak.
bigger
I'm
than you?
6'5", 330. Anything that's bigger than
Yeah,
me.
anyone who's not familiar with Hex personally, he is the largest human being on the face of the earth.
Wait, and you said he jumped over the rails?
Yeah.
You live on the 3rd floor.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I looked over. Okay, so anyways.
Yeah, no, finish it, because I'm like, I got questions, but I'm not,
I was
finish it.
freaking out, so I looked over the railing. Nothing is there. I didn't even hear a splash at the lake. I don't know what happened. So I'm freaking out. I quickly hop inside the house, and 2 of the cats are right at the door, freaking out, like ready to jump on me. Diana runs in, catches them, and drops them and gives me a big hug. She's freaking out because she heard snarling and growling and scratching at the door. She was afraid what it was. I didn't even tell her what I saw because I didn't want her freaking out anymore.
Yeah.
But
Thank God she doesn't listen to the show.
Oh shit.
Well, that's my fault, actually. She said she couldn't. Just my jokes are terrible.
Okay, thank you, I appreciate it.
So I'll keep it up.
So the reason I was gone so long is I arranged for Diana to stay with her parents. And so this is also me kind of going, is it cool if I crash at your guys' place tonight?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, we got a free bed. Oh, we got Luke on the line, by the way.
Oh, Luke, hey, how you doing, man?
Hey there, buddy. How you been? Other than giant red-eyed creatures jumping off your balcony.
No, I have a theory about that. I don't know if any theories have, like, legitimate theories have crossed through your mind.
Yeah.
I'm going with crackhead. I think Mike was right.
Is it in any way possible that it was Gary or Lunario von Darkwolf?
Well, I've seen. I did some research on Lunario. Lunario he's old, so he's kind of scrawny.
What have you seen pictures of him in werewolf form? Because
he's still smaller than me in werewolf form.
How would you know?
Because I've seen pictures. He has a freaking.
You've seen pictures of him in werewolf form?
He has a freaking Facebook.
That's. God, he really took that internet thing to the next level.
Yeah, he did.
I'm actually kind of proud of him.
But Gary, I actually had a theory it was Gary. I'm kind of freaked out at this point.
Well, let me tell you what happened to us.
Okay.
Dean called us.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So you see how maybe when you came in and sat down with the story, how, well, anyway, Dean called us.
Yeah.
And it took a while to figure out. It wasn't a phone number. It wasn't his phone number. It wasn't a phone number at all. It called us.
It was like Missing No called us.
We think he is teetering between life and death, and he called us from the afterlife somehow.
Seriously, what are we doing?
I think he's a crackhead.
Well, since it looks like we've got this ghost thing going on, maybe all this interference has been Dean somehow. Like,
wait, hold on, ghost thing?
We've been getting all this weird static. It sounds like kind of mechanical whispering. I don't really know how to describe it right.
When I was I took Diana. We threw the cats in the car. She was listening to iPod on the way there, but she took it with her on the way back and listened to the radio. I could not get a single station. I kept on hearing weird whispering.
I know who this is, and this is a problem that I have kept a secret for a long time.
Crackhead ghosts?
Probably a crackhead ghost. As a extremely young child, way before I even became a werewolf, I had some sort of connection to the paranormal, and I accidentally brought something over from hell into this world.
Way to go, man.
What?
Okay. I know.
I'm going to attribute all this stuff to Dean, but what the hell are you talking about?
Okay. Well, when it rains, it pours, and it pours shit. Okay? So I think...
You got a point. You definitely got a point.
When I was an extremely young child, like 5, I like the Ghostbusters animated series, and so I was like, I'm going to draw my own book of monsters. Okay. And so I drew a bunch of monsters. I had some wolfmen. I had some mummies. I had some ghosts. It was all pretty standard stuff. Nothing really creative because I'm not that smart.
Well, you were also what, 5?
Yes, but I was also a very stupid child. But I drew this one image, and it frightened me. It frightened me, and
you drew something and it frightened
you.
Yeah,
I drew something. And
what?
Yeah, I drew.
That is such a provocative thought.
And when I was done, I was scared of what I had drawn, and it was a ghost, and his name was Spookamus. Spookamus, and Spookamus.
Are we gonna get in trouble for saying his name?
Yes.
Don't say it 3 times.
He just did.
God damn it.
I am fairly certain that he is some sort of malignant force from hell, and he's been causing problems.
Well, what does he look like? I mean, it's just a ghost, like a little ghost shape?
No, he looks like jagged purple spikes. Yeah.
Like Gengar?
No. More like, take a purple crayon and draw a bunch of W's next to each other, and then connect them with a bunch of M's.
Okay, this isn't working at all. Can you draw this for us? Yeah. Can you draw it for like the show so I can put it on the internet or something?
I'll draw him right now.
So we can embarrass you publicly?
Okay. Yeah.
I'll draw him right now.
You see the thing so terrifying that Michael Pandel as a child looked at what he'd drawn and screamed like a girl.
We've already said his name 3 times.
Because his testicles had not yet descended.
And now you're drawing him. Is this really a wise decision?
This is
Is this like going on a Friday the 13th at midnight to a mirror and saying Bloody Mary?
Yes.
Okay. As long as we
exactly
know.
Like that.
But this is a being who has been haunting me for quite some time. And if we've got supernatural problems, we might be able to exploit this.
How?
I don't know. Rough them up.
This is
Rough up a fucking ghost.
They're corporal.
Get her.
You don't learn from the examples of pop culture. It's like, don't build computers named Cyberdyne anything. God damn it. Look at this little monster.
That's kind of creepy. Don't design a machine that looks diabolic. I learned that one from a very good source.
It's like a jagged mouth with a pumpkin face inside of a jagged mouth.
Yeah, a bunch of W's. You know,
Lots of spikes.
That is evil embodied.
Yeah.
That is what that
and
is.
so I drew something, and then I don't think it was my creation. I think
You think your hand was guided?
I think it was held.
There are no dicks on that, so
Yeah.
mine was
Yeah.
not involved directly.
Exactly. Like
Well, he was also 5, so did
no,
he?
you should see
That
the rest.
does not matter.
You should see the rest of this book.
Well, I mean, it's fact. Children are more susceptible to like the extracorporeal, the supernatural.
And so now I pretty much severed my ties to the supernatural when I cured myself from being a werewolf. Okay.
When you prayed it away.
Yes. When I stopped praying to the anthropope and I just started praying out to the real pope. Okay.
Right.
And
Super Pope.
Super Pope. Now this guy right here, I think he could be. I don't know. Just a thought. You know, maybe that was Spookmas at your door.
I didn't see much purple in this. It was
He's definitely purple.
yeah.
He's definitely way purple.
Yeah, I don't think a ghost would manifest itself as Hex's door. This thing has a tie to you. I mean, maybe it's wiggling its fingers in our connection. I don't know.
Well, I think that Spookmas is a hitchhiker. He likes.
Wait, like the Disney Haunted Mansion?
Uh?
There's at the end of the
Hitchhiking
Disney,
ghosts. You know?
There's 3 hitchhiking ghosts at the end of Disney's Haunted Mansion.
Okay, yes, exactly like that. But I'm saying when you open up a doorway to the supernatural, to the afterlife, to the hell dimensions, and, you know, let's just say you're summoning a good old wealth demon, right? And you're like, I'm going to summon a wealth demon. Well, hitchhikers are malignant spirits and ghosts that like to tag along. And so Spookmas was, you know, able to connect with me as a child, but maybe he is riding this train of
evil,
of Dean, basically. Dean reaching out and contacting us. He could be trying to weasel his little purple fingers in here.
Interesting.
Well, I fucking hope not.
Yeah.
We got enough problems. I mean, like vampires and werewolves I can kind of wrap my head around, but ghosts are another mess entirely.
Yeah, I mean,
like, what do we know about ghosts?
Well, I don't know.
And how they can interfere with machines and all that.
Well, I play a shit ton of video games, and I
Duh.
read a shit ton of video game news, and I go to a website that's rather infamous, and I lurk around all sorts of different boards, whatever, you know, is tickling my fancy, and sometimes one of those boards is X, where there are stories of the paranormal, and it's a group that's, you know, our generation or younger, so they're heavily influenced by video games, things like Pokemon, and there is this crazy thing that happened supposedly on February 27th, 1996. There was a lot of deaths in Japan related to the game Pokemon. Specifically...
What? Like red and blue?
Red, blue, and green. Specifically to Lavender Town.
What?
Yeah. Now, Lavender Town is where the Pokemon Tower is,
Right.
and it's got some creepy music when you're there. But the music we heard in America and in most versions in Japan is different from the original release. The original release had some really creepy fucking music, which apparently drove some kids insane and they killed themselves.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Really?
According to this, there was 11 cases of obstructive sleep apnea, severe migraines, and some other long words that I don't know. Then 12 cases of irritability, insomnia, addiction to video games, of course, nosebleeds,
Plus Pokemon.
and violent streaks, cluster headaches, irritability. Then they took some painkillers that went away. Sluggish and slowish behavior, unresponsiveness, developed into deafness, and then went missing. Body discovered alongside the road.
Whoa.
A couple days later.
Is this real?
You know.
I have also read this, so it must be true.
I mean, this is the internet, so there's no way to really back it up. But I mean, creepypasta is creepy. There's all sorts of cases, people finding code, talking about being buried alive. I mean, the whole thing about Lavender Town is just, it's weird. I mean, in game, supposedly Gary, or Blue, one of his Pokemon dies there, which is pretty much canon. Because
really, that happens? I mean, I don't remember that happening.
Well, you have to really look at his lineup, because every time you encounter him, his group of Pokemon increases, and eventually he's missing one, and he talks about how possibly one died in that part of the game.
Huh.
It's he had a rat tata, and in the third battle it evolved to eradicate. But then in the fifth battle at the tower, he no longer has it, and says that he pushed it too hard, and he will, better himself as a trainer. Now,
Wow.
yeah, you really have to be paying attention to which Pokemon he has every battle to notice
Right.
that. And so that was just kind of a creepy thing that, unsettled a lot of people. But
What you're saying is that the theory is the music actually...
the music was actually creepy. I mean, you can listen to the original versions on YouTube, and apparently it doesn't
I'll link to
translate
it.
through YouTube. But there's supposedly certain tones that cannot be heard by fully developed ears. So as adults, we can't hear them. But as a child, you can pick them up. Kind of like a dog whistle that drives you insane.
Never heard of that before.
Yeah.
I have.
Really?
Well, they got those mosquito tones that you can't hear after a certain age or something.
Uh-huh.
So it's something similar to that.
Weird.
Huh. I saw commercials for that when I'm watching Degrassi. It's like, get the ringtone that your adults can't hear.
Oh, I thought that was just like, oh, it sounds like a mosquito, but it's actually a cell phone. I didn't realize it was
it's that concept is that is something where it's like as you get older, you lose fidelity in your ears, so you can't hear things as well as you could with your younger ears. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really strange.
I've heard the same thing. That sounds about right.
Something that showed up early in September was a copy of Majora's Mask, apparently.
I heard about this. There's a haunted copy of
Yeah.
Majora's Mask. I never
Followed
up on it.
A haunted video game?
Yeah. Yeah.
That sounds really intriguing.
I mean, I've watched every episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Right.
And I've watched every episode of Ghostbusters, the real Ghostbusters.
The real Ghostbusters.
And all sorts of weird shit. Ghosts get trapped in computers and all the time, according to this popular fiction.
Right.
I guess it's possible. I mean, what is a ghost? I mean, how does the human brain work? It's like electromagnetic patterns running in the brain.
But the concept of a soul being so tied to a certain object, that object being a video game,
yeah,
in this day and age, is not too far fetched.
You know what I thought about when I first heard about this was that in the Nintendo 64 generation of games, it was in such an awkward space between the development of 3D and where it was going that there was still so much about the graphics that were awkward, that were interpretive, and there were so frequently like bits of code left around where you'd see something you weren't supposed to, and things would get really weird, and it would actually make me feel uncomfortable. Like there's weird stuff like how Boris running away at the end of GoldenEye, and how if you follow him fast enough, you watch him fade into a corner.
Yeah.
And it's fucking creepy.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, and it was just weird because it was like, okay, bodies fade after a certain point, but okay, what do we do with this?
Programmers hadn't gone that far.
Yeah.
You're under a deadline. You're like, you got 5 hours to do this. Figure it out. Well, you don't have that case of, well, what happens if they actually chase him?
Of course, it's like one of the best games on N64. You're going to try every weird thing possible.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to spend a lot more time playing that game that they are going to be developing.
Yeah, exactly. So this copy of Majora's Mask, it's a very long creepypasta. It's almost TLDR.
That's too long, didn't read, which I only found out recently.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're an idiot.
We're on different websites, man.
So I went to this and I was like, oh my god. I was like, long post is long, and I scrolled down and there's YouTube videos and I started watching them and I was like, whoa, this is actually kind of creepy. So then I went back and I read the whole thing, and it's not the most well-written thing, but as far as creepypastas go, it's pretty well-written. It's about a kid, college kid. He's got a Nintendo 64. He's beaten Smash Brothers too many times. He decides he's going to go out into town, see if he can pick up some N64 games at yard sales. He lucks out, gets a couple good finds, but then he sees like an obviously creepy man straight out of Courage the Cowardly Dog, just standing there, and he's...
Freaky Fred. Ugh.
The guy ends up giving him a game, which is Majora's Mask, but written in Sharpie on a blank cartridge. And he takes it home, and the kid's playing it, and he says there's some glitches, and there was a save file there, and it said Ben. He's like, oh, that's kind of cool that the save file's still there. I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to start my own game. No reason to delete it.
Yeah.
And he kept playing, and he named his character Link, as everyone does. He's playing the game, and it kept calling him Ben. And he was like, okay. He's like, there's some sort of glitch. It's it's drawing from the wrong hex data. So he's like, okay, that's weird.
It's an old game. There's
something
memory faults.
Yeah.
You guys heard that banging, right?
Yeah.
Hearing what?
I thought that was like you or Brian or
no, that was like in my headphones.
I'm not hearing any of that. I'm only hearing Mike.
I heard a couple thuds.
I'm hearing the creepy background noise.
Okay, well, let's
I'm
soldier
telling you,
through
man.
this.
I'm telling
Keep
you,
rolling.
It's
Yeah.
Spookamus. He's trying to get in.
All we need is a motherfucking, campfire.
Yeah, dude.
Are you afraid of the dark?
The Midnight Society.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's playing this game, and it's it's fucking up. It's showing scenes from the cutscenes randomly, and he ends up getting fed up that it keeps saying Ben. So eventually he goes in and deletes the save data, and then it starts saying his name is just a blank space, and he's like, god damn it. Yeah.
Okay.
That's when the shit hit the fan. And all of a sudden, he was like teleported to strange areas. Randomly, you would hear Link screaming, like,
for no reason.
Yeah, like when you die, like, just like over and over again. And he was just like, "What the hell is this?"
Why wouldn't he just turn off the
there's
game?
videos of this, right?
There's videos of this, absolutely.
Oh
Because
my God.
he started to go, "What the fuck is this?" and started, recording it. And
But honestly, like when this shit happens, why doesn't he just turn it off?
well, he was interested. Okay,
I can buy that.
I guess
I can
in
buy that.
theory, it's not going to come out of the TV and get him.
Yeah.
Right.
In theory.
Because yeah.
So he's playing this game, and there's a part in the game with a really creepy Link statue, and it started following him around and randomly teleporting behind him, and
Oh, that's creepy. That's like that one game where it's like a Sherlock Holmes game.
Yeah.
Where every
Yeah.
time you turn around,
And Watson is always right behind you.
I'm gonna post a link to that. That's terrifying.
yeah,
that thing.
that's some scary shit. So yeah, he just kept running from this thing, and he was just taken into the weird places in the game, and then all of a sudden it started to say like, "Your turn, Ben." Like Ben died. Like started to say all this weird stuff.
Whoa.
And eventually he gets teleported to the final fight area, and Skull Kid's there. And whenever he tries to do anything, Link bursts into flames, screams, and dies.
Holy shit.
Then the game starts over. He selects his save data. Dean?
Someone else hear that?
Yeah, no, we all hear
Dean?
that.
Okay, that I hear.
Spookamus? Spookamus, get the fuck out of here. I'm not even kidding.
Whoa.
Yeah, that did just happen.
That's weird.
Holy crap.
That's really...
What the hell?
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. Link dies, and then what?
And then he goes into the save data, and Link's just sitting there dead. It doesn't, like, start over. It's like he's still on fire, a corpse, laying there.
Oh my god.
And then the shit even gets weirder, and apparently the story goes on, and he says he started to feel, like, really ill, and eventually he went missing, and this was all posted by his college roommate.
The creepypasta.
He had typed up the creepypasta, and then said he was going to...
That's
he
complicated.
was going to do some stuff with it, probably post it on X, and then, boom. He's gone.
Jeez. What is
What?
that?
What is that?
Once for yes, twice for no.
Okay, that's just being a sure.
What did that one mean?
Okay, guys, we're dealing with the aliens from Close Encounter to the Third Kind.
Oh, shit.
That sounds like a stylophone, actually. Like the musical instrument.
Yeah.
That Dean had the records
Dean-
of. Dean owned a stylophone.
Yeah. He let me play with it once.
What the hell?
Sounds like a Simon Says.
Well, I mean, it's a really primitive electronic instrument. Well,
Is this coming through like?
Are we getting levels on this?
Yeah, where's this coming from?
I guess we're getting levels on it. I mean, it's all.
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
Audacity, so it's all on one channel. There's
all
no way we
squiggly
can
lines.
tell.
There's no way we can
It
tell
could be
what-
coming from anywhere.
And since we've got a couple guys on Skype, like
Yeah.
we just have a doorway open to the internet.
Dude, don't even talk like that.
Which is basically hell.
Dean, is that you? It's Spookamus? I don't know, man.
Whoa.
How do we... Which one was yes?
Once for yes, twice for no.
Alright, what's a little ditty?
I have no idea what to make of this.
I can barely hear you guys anymore.
It sounds like a fucking wind tunnel.
Yeah.
Should we cut to a song or something?
Yeah, let's cut to a song and try to figure this out real quick. I mean, maybe it's just the electronics. We should do a check. You're here now, so you can actually have a look at the board.
I'll do a diagnostic.
Okay, coming up. Jesus, it sounds so fucking loud.
Do we want to play that Lavender Town track I found?
Yeah, let's play the Lavender Town track. This is by Poke Remix Studio. It's a Lavender Town remix. So it's that spooky track remixed. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is French-American actor Christopher Lambert. And when I'm tempted by the beasts of Outworld, I just say, no thanks.
Okay, I think we've gotten the sound straightened out. It may have been just an audio thing that I screwed up because I don't usually do the audio.
Yeah, I tweaked with everything, so a full diagnostic.
I mean, it sounds better already.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So and
that did it.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
And we're all,
Thank
we're
you,
all
Hex.
still here?
Thank you, Hex.
Cool.
While we were gone, we actually talked about another video game spooky thing that came up that Mike and I both heard of.
Yeah, it's
which is why we played the song we just did, "Skeletons" by Bobby Yarselik, who we interviewed in the first episode of season 4 in the Minecraft segment.
Yeah, you were talking. Okay, so I'm still the Minecraft.
You've still
noob.
never played Minecraft,
And this is partially so I can do art.
which is good. Thank your lucky stars. And by the way, the Minecraft server that Nerdy Show set up is fucking booming. You can go on there on a
That's
daily
what I
basis.
hear.
It explodes. I've never seen the server empty. There's always people there.
Yeah.
And guys, oh my god, I'm so impressed with all the work you've done. It's incredible.
It is. I mean, I go on less frequently than some of the other guys, but when I go on, holy shit, am I blown away.
You know what we should do?
When I get my PC set up, I'm doing it.
Oh my god, Brian, that's incredible.
Dude.
That's a commitment, man.
We should have a monument competition. Whoever can
Oh,
make the
man.
most impressive monument to Nerdy Show on the server.
There's already so many.
No, but now we're announcing this.
I don't know, Hex.
There's already. I have a dirty dick tower. I mean, the conversations I see alone. People want to build Earthbound Shrine for Cap,
oh my
and Robo Shrine for Brian.
And there's already a shrine for every Lantern Corps, including the Amber Lamps.
Yes.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Okay.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is a lamp made out of solid gold bricks, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which is
shit.
very difficult to do.
What did they say? What they want to build for me, or did they?
I don't know.
There
They're going
was-
to.
You're nobody.
No, there was something specifically for you in the conversation. It was a. Don't remember.
But I mean,
It was unimportant.
it's amazing what we've seen on there. It's amazing what they've all done, and I did an article last week just about the things I saw in the first week of it starting.
Yeah.
And we're actually talking about kind of making it a weekly article because there's just so much on there. I can't let it go by without documenting it and showing all the amazing things that have happened.
I go on and I kind of I want to do some monotonous digging. And so I do that, and I've been working on this hole for a while, and I'm pretty proud of it. And then I'm like, you know what? I started this hole. The world was it was off in the corner where no one existed. I come out, and I'm surrounded by fortresses. On every side. And I'm like, what the shit? I was in a secluded part of the world, I thought, and just everything creeped over to where I was on the week I wasn't on and developed.
That reminds me of that one episode of Futurama recently with the robotic evolution where shit happened, entire eras alter overnight.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like on this freaking server.
No, it's amazing. It's you're there one day, you're in attractive wilderness. Oh, god damn it.
Okay,
What?
I did a full diagnostic check. That's not on our end.
I don't hear it.
What is
it's
that?
coming in kind of low this time, but
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's all right.
all right. Well, that brings up kind of where we were going with this before we got sidetracked by how awesome our Minecraft server is.
Yeah.
And thanks again, guys. Wow.
One of the earliest, I guess I want to say, rumors or Minecraft legends.
Urban legends.
Yeah, I would say a digital legend.
A digital legend.
Because Minecraft is every world that you make is a big world. It's yours.
Yeah.
And it's an indie game, so you never really understand what's going to be in there.
Yeah. The story is that a guy was on a single player game, You know, he's just playing single player because that's where shit is dangerous.
And he had the fog set to high. That's his level of view because he was running on like kind of a shitty computer.
Yeah.
So it was like pretty close to him. It was at the lowest settings.
So he saw some movement, thought it was a cow. Wanted to go punch that cow to death because he probably wanted some leather armor.
That's what you do.
As one does. That's what I do whenever I see a cow in real life.
You're hungry.
Yeah. And so he went and he saw it, and it was another player in the default skin. And he was just like, what the fuck?
But lingering in the fog, could just barely see him, piercing white eyes.
Yeah. And so, he was on an online server, this thing actually messaged him, and under the username Herobrine, telling him to stop because he was pursuing it, and he kept, moving back in the fog. He was never able to get close enough. So he didn't know what to do, and he started a discussion on the Minecraft message boards, also getting messaged by this Herobrine character, telling him to stop.
What?
Yeah. And then the profile for this person would 404 him whenever he went to it. So it didn't make any sense. He asked all sorts of questions, and then finally he started to talk to someone who actually was working at Minecraft. And
there was a group, kind of like because all the messages about this thing just like ended up getting 404'd. There was a group that was discussing it off those boards.
Yeah.
And he eventually found them because he was still asking questions. People who had also seen this thing.
Right.
They went into it and they found out it was a name used by a Swedish player, and Minecraft is developed by Notch. Notch is a Swedish dude.
And Marcus Persson.
Marcus Persson.
With all kinds of like funky letters in there you don't think are going to be in that name.
Yeah. And he heard from this guy who was talking to him and discussing stuff that Herobrine was the brother of Notch. And so he was like, all right, this guy's the brother of Notch. I'm just going to email Notch directly. And Notch hit him back and said if he had a brother. And Notch said, I did, but he's no longer with us. So he took some screenshots of this eyeless man in
and they're really eerie.
At the edge of the fog, just standing there. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see. It's pretty creepy stuff. And there's a big Minecraft Halloween update coming at the end of the month, which is fucking exciting.
It could change everything. It could make our server multiplayer survival, actually. What?
Whoa, what was that? Hello?
Hello?
Okay, that I hear.
That's way more ominous than normal.
Yeah, that stuff before was like random noise. This is organized.
And now it's gone. Okay.
You know what I like? I like being really far away from the recording office.
Agreed.
Asshole. Oh my god.
But yeah, so server multiplayer survival.
Oh yeah, we don't actually know the extent of this update, but we might actually get a survival server. It might be that all these fortresses are gonna have to get fortified because creepers are gonna come and blow them up. We don't know. The only monsters we've seen are every so often one of us pops into a mossy cobblestone room, which is another one of the creepy things that happens in Minecraft, is that buried in the earth are these completely hidden rooms covered in mossy cobblestone that have like a treasure chest inside of it and a thing that spawns endless monsters of a certain type. Because Minecraft is inherently a very creepy game, and so it's no surprise this rumor started. And actually, Notch has officially responded to this rumor and has joked in the past that he's going to add Herobrine into the game. And then he said he's not going to add Herobrine into the game. Or if he does add Herobrine into the game, it's going to be different. And with this Halloween thing, where you're going to be able to harvest pumpkins and make completely useless helmets out of them, and teleport to hell to travel long distances, if there's ever an update that's going to have Herobrine in it, it's probably going to be this one. So there's a chance that he might actually be hiding Herobrine or something like that into the game just to torment you. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
You know what? Notch can just rock me to sleep at night then, because if I see that thing, I'm never going to bed again.
It's going to be unsettling, because Minecraft is an unsettling game. You're constantly paranoid. You're constantly watching out for your ass. And this update is actually, torches burn out. Torches burn out. And then when you're in caverns in the darkness, under the ground,
you need the torches.
You need the torches. That's the only thing that keeps the monsters away.
Yep.
And now the torches burn out, and you need more torches the deeper you go. This game is terrifying by itself. It's been a while. We've been so, overtaken by all the ghosts and weirdness that it's been a while since we asked you to play a song for us, Luke.
Why don't I brighten things up here?
Yeah, right?
Oh, wait, Luke's playing his music?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Hey, with No Fangs, he does songs to, youth groups and schools and so on to try to show them why it's bad to
turn over to these paranormal, experiences.
Right,
and everything.
right.
So what you got for us, man?
I have Keep on the Sunny Side for you. This
Yay.
one's for the vampires out there.
Brilliant.
All right, let's see what we got here. There's a dark and a troubled side of life. There's a bright, there's a sunny side too. But if you are a creature of the night, then the sun will straight up set fire to you. Keep on the sunny side, always on the sunny side. Keep on the sunny side of life. It will help you every day. You won't die from vampire AIDS if you keep on the sunny side of life.
Amazing.
That was wonderful.
Thank you.
How do vampire AIDS work? Is that like a creative license that you're taking, or is that a real thing?
Mostly they can't really catch many diseases because they're technically dead, but the vampire AIDS will sneak right up on you.
Good advice. Good advice.
Well, let's cut from that music into some more music. This is Octorok by the Icarus Kid.
Oh my gosh. So, Brian, tell us how you found out about the Icarus Kid, because you're the one who introduced me to him.
All right, here's how it went down. He emailed me.
Brilliant story.
This is why I'm a writer.
I can see why you're a writer.
Just, man.
So many layers.
Super duper.
That's better than anything you've written.
I know.
Well, but the simple fact is that I've heard this music by the Icarus Kid, and it is awesome chiptunes.
It's phenomenal chiptune.
All this stuff is great. You should check it out.
So here's Octorok.
Hola, amigo. Ha sido sola por la noche y oyo el grito, nacimiento del chupacabras. ¿Tiene usted triste? Sin embargo, llena su corazón con nostalgia. El deseo de caminar hacia afuera en los pastos en la luz de la luna y tomar ventaja de la bestia más noble de Dios, la cabra. Usted no está solo. Yo soy famoso actor puertorriqueño Benicio del Toro. Y como tú entiendo la tentación de sucumbir a los deseos de los chupacabras. Después de ver los amigos y la familia perdido de esta manera monstruosa de la vida, una y otra vez he dicho no comillos. Si puedo hacerlo, usted puede hacerlo. No se espandejo. Si usted se convierte en un chupacabras, te mataré. La paz con vosotros.
So in between the songs, there was a No Fangs PSA that they asked us to play about chupacabras and not becoming a chupacabra. Now, I can't really follow that one. For starters, it was all in Spanish. And I guess that's a problem with the Latin American communities. I don't know. Luke, Mike?
That is the problem.
So, we all know vampires, how you become a vampire. We all know how you become a werewolf.
For those that don't know,
now,
chupacabra.
That's
a goat sucker. That's
hey, man. Anyone can suck a goat.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking
So, I mean, what I'd always heard.
I don't know if you just suck a goat and you turn into one.
No, the goat bites you, and then you turn into a chupacabra.
Well, okay, now I'm really confused.
Goats.
Where's the sucking enter into
If
this?
that's the
Well,
definition.
then when you're the chupacabra, then you suck the goats right back. It's like this
So wait,
antagonistic relationship.
do you get bit by the goat and then you suck them and then you become a chupacabra, or
No. You get bitten by the goat, and it's like a vampire.
No.
Or if you're bitten by a mummy, you become one.
What I
You
heard
become
was that the
chupacabra.
goat sucker is a kind of like giant thing the size of a small bear with like quills on it that actually sucks the blood out of livestock.
Hold on. This
To
is
be
serious.
fair, I am making up everything I'm saying right now.
Okay, I was really
Okay.
concerned because my best friend Bob has been bitten by more than his share of goats.
All right, what you need to do
Is he a goat farmer?
is you need
He grew up in
listen,
farm country.
You need to go to BeastTube.
And he liked to make fun of goats.
Just go to BeastTube. All right.
Hey, no.
And just type in goat sucking. Okay?
No.
And
No.
you will see what.
Do it for him. Like, that's the only way he'll learn. Do it now.
Yeah. See, that is how you become a chupacabra. You just do this horrible deed with a goat.
That is unnatural.
We all know that.
It's the love that has no name.
That
it does have a name. Zoophilia.
Fucking.
We all know
kids in the hall
that the goats are from Area 51.
No, they're older than that.
Okay, dude, you have totally.
You are full of shit.
No, you've been going to crazyfuckingconspiracies.com way too much.
Dude, that guy's funny.
All right, he's funny, but he's dangerous.
I've been asking him a lot of questions. All right, and I am learning so much about the world.
Wait, is that guy
Yeah,
serious?
that's kind of dangerous.
I don't know. As far as we know, he's serious. But
oh my god.
I mean, I think he's hilarious, so I've emailed him. So I'm trying to get him on the show. Spoiler alert, but we'll see if that happens. I don't have high hopes.
We joked about Brian running that blog, but that was a joke because I didn't realize that was an actual blog.
Yeah.
I actually got a pretty lengthy email from that person, all in caps, saying...
Was it legible?
He blames Brian Clevenger for the
What did I do?
because you said that you ran it. We joked about that, and
Whatever.
and now he thinks it's serious.
Anyway, we gotta put the brakes on this for just
Okay,
a second.
yeah. This
So
is for another.
the song that we heard, and I do want to talk about this. The song that we heard was a song by the non-commissioned officers. I don't know if you remember the non-commissioned officers, Mike, because you were kind of drunk at the time, but they opened for the Proto Men at the Act 2 release party.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, I'd never heard of them before.
Oh yeah.
We were in Nashville. They put on an amazing show.
I was haunted by an old Tennessee ghost. His name was Jack Daniels.
Yes.
He had possessed me, and I was under his spirits.
Oh my god. Mike, you have created the Jack Daniels Halloween ad campaign. How are you not rich?
I don't know!
That's amazing.
Oh god.
Oh god. Anyway, the non-commissioned officers, or non-coms as they're frequently shortened, they were on the stage. They were putting on an amazing show. And they said, hey, we got an album that just came out. It's a double disc album. It's a soundtrack to a movie called Make Out with Violence.
What?
And I said, okay. And I went over and it was a double disc album. It was called Make Out with Violence. It said it was a soundtrack to a movie. But I was like, there's no way this is a soundtrack to a movie. I thought it was just like a gag. People say funny things on stage because they have the ridiculous titles like Scrotality.
Yeah.
It's both a score and like a soundtrack album at the same time. Both are uniquely amazing. All the tracks are very different from each other. It is a real movie, and the band directed the film. and that band exists because of the film.
Oh, that's awesome.
This is crazy. I'm going to try to make a long story short. The filmmakers formed the band because they were writing the soundtrack to the film as well and ran out of money. And they earned money as a band and funded the rest of the film. And now they're bigger as a band. Like they played Bonnaroo this last year than the film is. So
wow.
It's a very unconventional zombie movie. It's like a zombie art film about this like prom queen disappears one day, and this little boy who'd always like kind of loved her because she babysat him and stuff finds her zombified, chained up to some trees in the woods. And so his older brother, who is always in love with her, takes her to his friend's abandoned summer home and keeps her all summer long. And shit gets really fucking weird.
Weirder than that, you say?
It's a really cool movie.
And it's got tracks like Scrotality.
with an amazing soundtrack.
That needs to be a new finishing move in Mortal Kombat. Scrotality.
And if you're doing it to a girl player, they grow a scrot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Only never ripped off.
Wait, maybe they kill you with their scrot.
Oh.
So the girls have to grow one.
Yeah, Futanari.
Yeah, Futanari.
Oh, God.
Anyway,
the words I wish I'd never learned.
Those words are nerdy. Show.
It's coming out on DVD later this month. I'll have a link to where you can pick it up in the album and all that. And I think it's gonna be on Netflix soon also. So, completely separate note. I said I was gonna talk about stylophones.
Yeah.
Actually, then I thought about talking about stylophones, and I thought about, well, maybe I could just talk about weird instruments in general. Stylophones are really cool. They're a little handheld electronic instrument invented in the early 60s, and they've been used in a lot of famous songs. Lots of musical composers just use them as a quick way to like bring around like a synthesizer, put together a song really quick because it's like having a keyboard in your pocket. So people have been doing this for a long time. And people use them for like really famous songs. Like Space Oddity has like some stylophone in it. Icky Thump by the White Stripes has like stylophone solos in it.
That's what that sound is.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's a very simple electronic instrument, so it's got a really raw sound. It's pretty neat.
I'm gonna do a callback to an earlier episode real quick. Didn't you guys once play? It was like the Mario theme done on stylophones and banging on pots and pans or something.
Sure.
We did play a really funky Mario track that might have had stylophone in it.
Possibly.
I mean, you're the music director, Hex. You don't remember this?
Yeah, no. I'm trying to. I know.
That's a pretty funky track, Hex.
That is. I know.
Show me how you do it.
Like, I'm remembering the Zelda track done all in Heineken beer bottles.
Oh, that's awesome.
You know what else you can do in a Heineken beer bottle?
And I've heard a Final Fantasy IX
Number 2.
battle track that's only done with a guitar and a cell phone.
Oh, you want to hear some kind of nerdy stylophone track from recent time?
I would love to hear one.
Okay, dig this. I found this when I was digging up some dirt on stylophones. There's a 2007 Doctor Who audio drama about the 8th Doctor, the one who only had a television movie.
Yeah.
It's called The Horror of Glam Rock. I assume this is somewhat based on David Bowie. And in the story, a glam rocker in 1974 is contacted by aliens through his stylophone, and playing a certain tune on the instrument summons the aliens to Earth.
Awesome.
And there's actually, during this audio drama, a fake glam rock song called Children of Tomorrow, and you can actually listen to the track. You can actually get the track on iTunes. We have it linked through the site, and it's performed by Stephen Gately, who's one of the lead singers of Boyzone. It's really weird.
I love Boyzone.
We know you do.
There was this poster.
It's not just a joke. It's serious.
I mean, dude, it's, pop music.
Anyway,
it's not a crime.
Thinking about stylophones and then like all this creepy shit that's been happening to us and everything made me think of a really interesting instrument that's kind of eclectic. It's called a glass harmonica.
What?
I first learned about this instrument on a Friday the 13th in Colonial Williamsburg when I was visiting there with my dad and John, my younger brother, who does the SciTech section. And there's this guy named Dean Shostak who does a performance still to this day in Colonial Williamsburg on like a regular basis. And he performs on an instrument, a musical instrument that Benjamin Franklin invented. It was either one of the or the first instrument invented on American soil.
Wow.
And it's called the glass harmonica. It's the same concept as playing wine glasses, except it's 37 glasses laid out horizontally over a spindle, and you rotate them with a foot pedal and then wet your fingers, and you can play as many as 10 of these bowls at a time, enabling you to play glasses as you would a keyboard.
Wow.
It's incredible. And what's crazy about this thing is even though no one knows about it now, it was actually extremely popular. It was invented in 1761, and it had faded to obscurity by like about 1820 or so. But in between that time, musicians such as Mozart, Beethoven, and Strauss had all composed pieces for it.
What?
And even stranger, like it creates these haunting melodies. And Franz Anton Mesmer, the man who the term mesmerize is named after, actually used it in his psychological sessions with patients.
Whoa.
Like, Mesmer's the guy who created the concept of animal magnetism, which is not what you think it is now. It's actually that a magnetic fluid resides within all animate beings.
Yeah, it's pretty hokum.
It's kind of awesomely pseudoscience-y at this point. People believed it at the time. And also his work led to the creation of hypnotism some decades later. But so what he would do is he would treat his patients with these really kind of unconventional methods. He would like sit in front of them with his knees touching the patient's knees, and then he'd just press the patient's thumbs into his hands, look into their eyes, and sometimes press his fingers on the area below the patient's diaphragm and just hold it there sometimes for like hours.
Dude, he's just molesting girls.
And
why is ancient medicine always creepy?
It's so, this particular era of like medicine was just so mind-blowingly strange. It's hard to wrap my head around this was real one day. And then he concluded sessions by playing on the harmonica because it was kind of hypnotic. He'd do things that were like kind of the precursors to hypnosis, and he'd use the harmonica because it was such a celestial sound, such a strange thing. And actually because of things like this, people eventually became afraid of the harmonica and started saying things like it would actually make people crazy.
Oh, wow.
And so then all of a sudden, all this bad press, and it falls out of use, then no one hears about it. Then it gets a resurgence, and there's people like Dean Shostak who have their own harmonicas made and are actually like talking about it, practicing it, performing these eclectic instruments. And modern musicians have used it, including Tom Waits.
I believe it. Have we talked about the theremin yet?
Well, I don't know if we actually had a conversation about the theremin, but
I have had many conversations about the theremin.
It's awesome. I love theremins.
Well, there's this cool thing,
music.
like back at my school, there's a physics professor who actually built a theremin and showed us how to build one.
Cool.
Well,
dude, why
the hell is that?
My phone is on silent.
Apparently not. I was talking about
that
Professor
is a
Beckwith.
bunch of squares.
What?
Hold on a sec.
Okay.
I'm gonna put this on speaker. Dean? Dean?
Whoa, what?
Dean?
The hell is that? Is that the phone? What?
It is the phone.
Holy shit.
What the hell's going on?
This is really freaking me out.
I don't know
Turn the phone
what
off.
to do. It's Dean. It's only tether with Dean. Wait. Okay. Now, what could he possibly be trying to do with this? Is he trying to communicate with us somehow? I mean, is that what this is?
Hold on. I'm trying to listen to it.
Is this like in? This is a crazy idea, but
is he?
Are you familiar with Short Circuit 2?
Yeah.
You know at the end when
Who is
Benjamin's
not?
trapped in the freezer or whatever,
Yeah.
and he's using the phone lines to tap out oldies so that they know what part of New York to go to.
Oh, holy shit.
Do you know why they did that? Because they didn't know Morse code. Which Dean
We
does
don't know Morse code either.
Dean's an ex-Marine.
Yeah, he is.
I don't know how to read
recognize
Morse
it.
code.
I recognize some of it, but I'm not... Hold on, let me see if I can...
Okay.
Okay, here's the pattern. What does that say?
I have no idea what it
Well,
says.
no, you go
Hold on.
translate it.
Mike.
I got a Morse code translator.
Okay, cool.
Right here. Okay. So. Okay. Do we have shorts and longs? How many shorts?
Kinda. There's like mediums in there.
Okay. What do you have, Hex? What do you have for me?
This is the pattern that we got.
Okay. You got a short, long, short, pause, long.
Don't
long,
narrate
long.
it. Just put it in.
All right. Okay. Route 50.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Colonial.
Yeah. Mile 31. Off road.
It's in the swamps. Like it's not. That's between here and Titusville.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty far.
Off
That's
road.
pretty-
Well, we gotta
Okay.
go. We gotta.
Yeah,
gotta get
yeah,
going.
Fuck this shit. Let's go.
So at that point we went away, but in the immediate emergency of the situation. But here's a track. This is actually Baroque Hoedown pop version by They Might Be Giants, which features the stylophone heavily and some Moogs. And I'm gonna be at Moog Fest coming up at the end of October, and Hex is scowling at me. Baroque Hoedown's a cover of a song that heavily featured the Moog originally by Jean-Jacques Perry and Gershon Kingsley in 1967. It was a really, really famous electronic song that was actually sampled by the Beatles for one of their Christmas albums at one point and was used in Disney's Main Street Electrical Parade.
Last year, the Mashup Town did a compilation, which was the Mashed and Slashed Halloween compilation. And this was my takeaway track from it. It's 666. It's all over the place. It's a bloody mess of samples. It's just phenomenal.
And now here is our frantic race to find Dean.
Guess we won't know if he's going to be saying anything different, but just having that on makes me think that he's still alive somehow.
Yeah.
Or something.
It's creepy but comforting.
I guess.
Comforting.
Whatever works, man.
What?
I don't know. I don't know much about anything anymore. Unless we're being led into a trap by
Lunarius.
or Lunario.
There's a lot of...
Lunario doesn't have access to this kind of stuff.
You're right. I'm giving him more credit than he deserves.
We have lots of enemies.
Dude, you know who it could be? The goddamn Lawnmower Man.
Shit, talk about ghosts in the machine.
Seriously.
You know, that is extremely possible in a really awful, I don't want to think about it kind of way.
Yeah, let's not think about that. Let's think about that it's Dean calling out to us.
I mean, if...
Well, Lawnmower Man is kind of exclusively Brian's problem.
Oh, Unless he thought that for some reason, like that, I'll get to Brian Clevenger through what he cares about most.
And then for some reason he mistook.
A horrible miscalculation. Well, I mean, the good news is that it's in the middle of nowhere. It is literally the middle of nowhere. It is the swamp.
Yeah, if it was Lawnmower Man, he'd want to get to us where there's computers.
Yeah, that's true.
He wouldn't want to lure us away from the rig.
We'd be going to a facility or a mainframe or something.
Well, even then, like, connected to the rig, that's the best place for him to get us.
I don't know. I think we got definite werewolf problems or ghost problems.
Jeez. We left Brian and Luke there, like, alone.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we left it recording, too.
Well, you know, that'll be fun to go back and listen to.
Okay, so am I shutting down? What's the deal here?
I don't know. But hey, while I've got you here, will you, can you send me some of those Atomic Robo trade paperbacks, and will you sign them in the back? I'm a big fan of that, and 8-Bit Theater. And...
Oh, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I can do that, yeah.
Oh, awesome. Oh, hey, while I'm thinking about it, an 8-Bit Theater strip 543 and panel 4, what did you mean by what Black Mage says?
You know, there's like 1,200 of these things. I don't know. I mean, I'd have to.
You mean you don't
look it
have
up.
them all memorized? I mean,
no.
that's...
Strangely enough, no. I don't have, you know, an average of 12 panels times 1,224 comics memorized. I know it's kind of strange to think that.
I mean, well, I guess that's okay. But can you do me some fan art? I've always had this idea for this really sexy picture of a Black Mage on Red Mage on White Mage, and then another Black Mage. It's like a really sexy 8-bit Oreo, except there's red in there.
Are you the one who's sending me those pictures? These really crude pictures of exactly this thing that you just described to me?
No.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll do that for you. I will make that. I am totally, legitimately, actually doing that.
Oh man, you're the best. Because I've been reading you for so long, and hey, I've got my own comic going too. Would you preview it for me before I put it on the internet? I wanted to get an actual opinion. Oh, and didn't you write a novel too? Because I have one of those laying around here somewhere.
That's great. Yeah. You should email me, and you know, sometimes I get a lot of email, you know, so it might take a while to get back to you, but definitely. Yeah, just email me, and yeah, we'll get it back and forth going eventually.
Oh, you're the best.
Yeah. Okay.
I love you, Brian.
What?
Oh.
Yeah, I gotta go. Yeah. Oh, you can hear probably. Yeah, my cats need to be fed. So.
Oh, isn't his name Charlie? I love the pictures of Charlie. Did he eat your headphones again? That was so funny.
Yeah, I gotta go. See ya.
Oh, God. I don't see anything. I hear them bugs, though. Oh, my God.
What's that smell?
It smells like wolf feces.
How do you know what... Oh,
okay,
yeah.
I'm just using my imagination. It smells like shit, though.
Well, it's a swamp.
Yeah, like some sort of...
Down there in that ditch. It's one of Dean's trucks.
Holy shit.
That's one of the two that was missing.
Yeah.
It's really dark down there.
Let's see. Ooh, a little bit of pretty steep.
Oh, God, kind of muddy.
Yeah.
It's wet down here.
Yeah.
Look, let's turn off the damn phone.
Okay.
Like, Dean, no.
Shit.
There, grab my arm.
Dean, buddy, you in the car? Okay. Dean, buddy. Dean? Oh God, what's that? It's Dean. What's that mess pressed against the tree? Oh my God, it's like a.
Dude, that is the sickest gore show I've ever seen.
there's fur and
Dude, he hit
and it's got a human hand. What the hell?
That's a werewolf corpse.
Yeah, if that's
no
anything,
other
I mean,
explanation for it.
That is a werewolf corpse.
That is literally half man, half wolf.
Dean.
He doesn't look good.
Dean. Dean.
We gotta get him out of here.
We gotta call an ambulance or no, we gotta drive him there.
Yeah. No, if we wait for the ambulance to get here and then go back there.
I don't know if it's safe to move him, but we gotta try. Come on, man.
Oh man.
So, it was really late, and Mike and Hex ended up going home, and I stayed at the hospital. I was waiting for Cheryl and Steven to get back from Ocala, and before they were able to get back, Dean woke up, and the nurse said I could come in.
Dean, it's Cap.
Oh.
It's Everett.
How's it going, man?
It's going pretty good, buddy. How you holding yourself together?
I feel awesome.
Really?
It got me on something, man. This IV feels pretty good.
I didn't think you were gonna make it, buddy. Do you know how long you were gone for?
No.
You were gone for 2 weeks, man. We didn't know where you were. What happened?
I don't know. I remember Gary coming over. He wanted to talk about something. And then...
Do you remember what happened after Gary showed up?
Let me see. Gary came over, and he had a bunch of really weird voicemails about, I don't know, wizards and warlords or something. Werewolves or, I don't know. Gary showed up and started yelling and screaming and started transforming to some kind of weird thing. Some kind of, I don't know, dog thing, like I saw in the woods those years ago. And I just started shooting. I shoot first and I ask questions later. That's the way I've always lived my life, and he knows that. He knew what he was getting himself into. That's what his voicemails told me to do, so I just...
Hey, Dean, nobody's apologizing for Gary.
I don't think he could live with what he'd become anymore. I blame myself. I think he thinks I let something off that happened to him when he was a boy. I don't think I can forgive myself. But it's all done now.
You did the right thing, Dean. Gary took it too far. You know, he's just... Well, Dean, you may have killed him. You know that, right?
You mean that thing on the truck? Was that Gary?
Yeah, I couldn't say for sure.
I know it's him. I can feel it. I guess we can all sleep a little bit easier tonight.
What are you going to tell Cheryl and Steven? They've been worried sick, and they're driving in from Ocala tonight to see you.
I don't know, man. I guess we'll just figure it out one day at a time. Gary died to the family years ago when he abandoned us all. So, I guess nothing's really going to change. I guess just now, he really is dead. May he rest in peace.
So that was an adventure. None of us could have possibly expected what happened. And it's really unnerving that all of these things that were paranormal and everything might actually be real. So it turned out that while we were recording and Luke was left alone, he started singing to us. So this is actually, it looks like one of his another one of his PSA songs. This is about werewolves. I think you'll recognize the tune. And when we're done with that, it's close to Halloween. We're going to close out with my ultimate all-time favorite Halloween track ever, ever, ever. This is Halloween is Cool by Jackson of Grand Buffet.
Hi, it's me, Dean Wallace. I want to thank you for listening to this week's episode of Nerdy Show. I'm okay, and I survived more ordeal with my son. I'm moving on, and I got a bright future ahead of me. Nerdy Show is brought to you by A Comic Shop, Nerdapalooza, and the Oviedo branch of Play and Trade. If you have questions or comments, please feel free to send them to info@nerdyshow.com. For more episodes of Nerdy Show, Dungeons and Doritos, comics, videos, and more, go to nerdyshow.com. You can subscribe to all Nerdy Show podcasts via the iTunes Store. Don't forget to also follow them on Twitter @Nerdy Show or friend them on Facebook. If you enjoy what you heard, support Nerdy Show by telling a friend, or better yet, give them your money by visiting the Nerdy store and picking up a t-shirt or donate directly for cool, nerdy perks.
I think strip 543 is pretty self-explanatory. I mean, Black Mage doesn't say anything that weird. I mean, he just says, and why would you?